What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sandlot Gaming Dungeons and Dragons. Here we are. We are running through the Tomb of Annihilation module. We are in about session 5 of this, but session 8, I think, of our actual season 2 here. We are running, as far as our characters go, we are running a druid, a warlock, a monk, a wizard, and a bard. Our bard is not with us today, so he will be kind of with us, but not really. Where we left off, we had a few sessions of trying to get out of this town. After trying to obtain a guide went horribly wrong. Our wizard Zigmundo was on trial basically for his life, and he succeeded last week. And now he has been set free. We are ready to go. We've got a couple of things we've got to take care of in the jungle, and so that is where we are headed. Let's jump into the chat and see what's going on. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
All right.
The Tabaxi is a rogue. He's actually a writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Although,
for what, like a magazine, or
for a few more sessions on how good a writer I think he is.
All right. Hopefully, I put you guys on the correct map this time.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Good point.
Yes, it is the correct map.
All right.
And the correct music, it sounds like.
Excellent. All right. So, when last we left our intrepid crew, you had. Well, actually, why don't I let one of you recap? Who's willing to run the recap?
Zig,
No, I did it last time.
it was your trial.
All right, fine.
Yeah, none of us did anything.
Triumphantly with our hero,
Handsy
Handsy.
can't back it up for us, so it's got to be you.
Wait, what?
It's either you or Hansy doing the recap.
Oh, yes. As I was saying, our hero, Handsy, saved the day miraculously by pulling my ass out of all sorts of situations, and I was able to get that feat challenge successfully completed, and I was rewarded a bag of gold. And,
You didn't even take any damage, did you?
No, but I was like inches away from disaster, at least twice. Hey, why are you zooming in on your closet?
Oh yeah.
That's weird. Did this camera automatically do that?
Whose camera?
Meryl's.
Mike's.
It's the closet of mystery.
Anyway, I was doing it again.
Oh yeah, look at that. Slow zoom.
So anyway, I was given the opportunity to go back into the pit. I said, thank you, no thank you. We got our ish together, and we are fleeing the city at the hastiest possible.
We're also, I would add, headed to sort of some nearby ruins where we understand Syndra died. To see if we can uncover any clues as to what's going on with the main story arc.
Where exactly is that, so I can references on them? Sorry.
Troy should be able to poke it for you on the map. It's slightly to our southwest.
Gotcha. Mbala. Cool.
Yep. Perfect. And to add to your recap, so you did manage to catch up with Iku, who is one of the guides under Jobal's authority, who, although she doesn't seem to have a fantastic relationship with him, she agreed to be your guide.
Neither do we, to be fair.
That's a good point. And she also kind of informed you on some recommendations of what to bring with you. Kind of in between sessions, we're assuming that some Shopping Simulator 2018 happened. Oh, look at this! Look at that zoom!
Wow. When did it start doing that?
I was doing it.
You're zooming in on your closet while you weren't here. Do you have like an autofocus?
I guess I do. Let me turn that off.
That's a flashback to our first D&D game. I am a pants seller. I buy pants. Thank you.
That was really funny. Just like the slow. That was like
The dramatic
sitcom
zoom.
style zoom in for the reaction shot.
Where's the star wipe?
Dun, dun, dun.
David follows me over here.
All right, so the following morning, you wake up bright and early, perhaps even before the sun rises, and make your way to the southwest gate, where you meet up with Iku, who's there before any of you, and appears to be entirely awakened and eager to get on with the journey. She tells you that it's going to be a long journey to get to Mbala, if that's where you would like to go. She again recommends taking the River Soshin Star, and she's happy to see that you've provisioned properly with a couple of canoes. She tells you it's going to be a couple days of portage to get to the river.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But then once you've gotten to the river, the things will go much more quickly, though you will be paddling upstream.
So question on that. I know there were kind of exhaustion rules when we were traveling on land up in the mainland. Do we need mounts in order to avoid those?
So the exhaustion rules from last time are gone.
Okay.
Go ahead. So there are new travel rules that you'll learn about as we go. The general rules are this. So I think everybody can see the map except for Hillers. So we're looking at the hex grid map with all the covered up square or hexes, not squares.
I have a decent recollection of it.
Yeah. So generally speaking, you can travel 1 hex per day.
Wow.
Cool. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of hexes big.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
A 3-hour tour.
You can travel by 2 hexes when you're going along a river.
You mean via river? Or...
Via river. Yeah. Via river.
Okay.
Yeah, so just walking next to the river doesn't count. You have to be canoeing up or down. Upstream, downstream, that doesn't matter.
So it's like a 2-week journey to get to Mbala, even by river.
It's going to take you a while.
Oh man. Well, we only paid for a month, so it's 2 weeks there and 2 weeks back.
Better finish our shit as soon as we
It
get
might be
there.
faster going back. Who knows? Going with current.
You guys just want to go back and run our woodworking shop and forget this whole thing?
Yeah.
There's so much camping, you guys. Death is fine how it is.
I picked up this tree that I plan on whittling. The whole tree with this pocket knife.
So you can go at either a slower pace or a faster pace.
What about a medium pace?
Medium pace is what I just described. So you can definitely do a medium pace.
And so what happens with the
Let's go.
exhaustion rules? Is that a concern? Or
Yes, so if you go at a faster pace, then you run the risk of exhaustion, but it's more of a roll. Mounts don't help for this.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's start at the medium pace.
Yeah, I agree. Let's not get silly.
Can we fit dinosaurs on the canoes?
You cannot. These canoes are rather sizable. They're probably about 12 to 15 feet long. I guess you could fit a small dinosaur on it, sure.
I guess it's good we can go with the Triceratops guys, huh?
Yeah. Like
It's taken us a
a
month just to get there.
like a raptor?
Yeah, I imagine a raptor, which are relatively small creatures, would fit. I mean, a raptor is smaller than you. Each of these canoes can hold 6 people. You have 2 canoes.
You said they were 4 foot tall.
Yes, so that's smaller than most of you.
So it's either a small or medium size. Yeah. Okay.
It's a small size creature.
I don't think we need any
so yes.
dinosaurs, right? We got rolling. We don't need any.
Well, I say you guys put a couple of velociraptors on your canoe and see what happens.
I would highly recommend against that. They have knives. They have daggery knives and bite. And they can do both at the same time.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None
No
of
big
us
deal.
know how to camp.
All
All
right.
right. So extreme
I
difficulty.
think I can reason with them.
Well, the DM said it'd be fine, guys. I think we should do it.
It'd be fine. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Roll persuasion. It's fine.
Come on, Raptors. Come on, guys.
So here's some and so now that I'm starting to describe some of this, if you guys want to retroactively like buy more provisions and stuff like that, that's fine as well. Once we've so when you're canoeing, you're going to be picking the order of people in the canoe, because you've got a paddler up front who's the primary. Everybody can help paddle, but that's the person who's really steering. And you've got a navigator in the back. You're going to pick a primary navigator.
Dibs on
and
navigator.
That's the person that's going to help you figure out where you're going, because one of the other things to know is that it is easy to get lost in the jungles of Chult. Much harder when you're on the river, but especially as you get away from the river, becoming lost is something that does happen.
What's the skill that governs navigation ability?
It's generally survival.
So wisdom?
So
Wisdom is the attribute.
Here's something else I don't know, but I am proficient in water vehicles and navigators tools.
Awesome.
So I don't know if that helps us at all, but
It sure will.
Sounds like it does.
yeah,
It sure will.
because
Now,
me
that'll
being
mostly
a
help you
sailor and
when-
all.
So that'll mostly help you when you're on the river.
Right.
Navigation on the river does matter, although you're less likely to get lost. There are other reasons why it's good.
Okay.
That said, just to clarify, once you get away from the river, if you ever choose to get away from the river and go into the jungle, that's not likely to help you as much.
Right.
You might be able to use the navigator's tools.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now to see exactly what that means.
It doesn't.
I think Recto should be one navigator, and I think Roland should be the other one.
I'm survival 4. That's what that is.
So real quick, Recto, here's what it would mean is, so you are not proficient in survival, but you are proficient in navigator's tools. So if you use your navigator's tools to navigate, you would be able to add your proficiency bonus, whereas otherwise you would not be able to.
Right.
You've been
Okay.
carrying an astrolabe this entire time?
Yeah, do I need to purchase the tools that I am proficient with?
Do you have any in your inventory? Because if not, then yes.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Then yes, you would have to purchase them.
That shit's gonna be expensive.
Nah.
Yeah.
Um,
A spyglass costs 1,000 gold.
I don't think a spyglass is required. I don't need no spyglass, man. I use the stars.
Okay, so you don't need tools then, I guess.
Navigator's tools, which you would be able to find in Port 9 Zaro, especially in a port, cost 25 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I will do that.
Okay. I'm happy to say you did that prior.
Okay. Cool.
So just mark off the gold. There are rules for foraging for water and food and everything like that, but I think you all are fine for now because you did bring, well, as long as you've got the rations, you can just spend the rations and we don't have to worry about the rest.
The 6670 covers full rations for the lot of us for a month without using good berry or anything like that.
Okay. Any more questions about the mechanism of travel?
Thinking. I don't think I have anything else.
Let's go.
Okay. All right. So here's the next thing I need from you all is when you're on land, who's going to be, because you're starting off on land, so you're making your way out of the southwestern gate of Port Nyanzaru. You're heading out into the cliffs overlooking the Bay of Chult, headed southwest towards the river, walking through what starts off as grassland, and Iku offers to take the lead, but also asks if anybody else would prefer to navigate instead.
I would not prefer to navigate instead, but I would like to stay close on her hip and try to observe and be able to ask questions and understand how she sees this area, because this whole ecosystem is completely different from what I am used to.
Sure.
Would she be comfortable having Hansy near her?
If she doesn't know about it.
Are you asking her that, Hillers?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be traveling for a while, so let's assume a conversation wherein I introduce her to my admittedly horrifying-looking companion, and mention his various skills, tell him that he's totally under control, and he's actually quite helpful and can really aid perception and really help out in unexpectedly dangerous situations. How does Iku respond to that pitch?
She says, well, you are the customer. If you would like your friend to travel near me, that is up to you. But you can see that she kind of looks at him and doesn't look terribly thrilled about him.
Well, I'll change him into some friendly-looking animal then, and he'll run next within 5 feet of her.
Okay. You're polymorphing him, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, he can change into anything.
What?
He can change into a lot of different shapes.
Can he?
He can be a raven. He can
be a square, a circle.
Oh yeah, he's a shape changer. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking handy.
I don't think you've really used that before, have you?
Because he's always been invisible.
99% of the time. So.
Yeah, he's invisible. Who cares what he looks like?
You should turn him into like a cute little puppy to lure people into a sense of security.
Yeah, to try to make things a little bit easier for him, he'll be a more approachable thing than a nightmare fuel critter with graspy little spikies.
All right. So here's what we need now: is we need the order that people are walking on the land. So let me actually just go to a blank battle map, and let me do this here. You guys all did get a long rest.
Oh, hello.
Just
Hello, luck points. Precious luck points.
And Andrew, for saving your ass, you've leveled all by yourself.
and Hansy did get one vote for MVP. So do I have inspiration?
Sure, Hansy has inspiration.
I did vote for Hansy for MVP.
He does. Great.
He does, and you can use his inspiration on his rolls.
That's so unuseful.
How are we going to write Nick out of this for the moment?
He's just here and quiet.
We'll put him in for the only time ever.
I don't understand.
He's just hovering above us the whole time.
Yeah. So what I'm looking for. So imagine the north, the up side is the front, and so what I want to kind of get is what is the what is the order of the way you guys are walking and who's walking to the side. And this is what I'll use whenever we go into a new map where you're walking into the map. So if I
where's the front?
You guys
Sorry.
roll.
I'll put a little line down.
Did we end up getting 2 canoes or 1?
2.
Cool.
Which presumably means we have to carry them also.
When you're porting them, yes.
If we can take short rests, I mean, I can go for about 2 hours as a draft horse. If I can do 2 hours as draft horse, get a short rest to get my wild shape back, which gives me another 2 wild shapes, 2 hours.
Oh,
Can go.
and speaking of rest, here's the other important thing to know is when you're sleeping in the jungle, you only get a short rest.
Oh shit!
So hold up. Wait,
That's
what?
real bad.
No long
Yeah,
rests
so
ever? Unless we
you can get
find
long rests.
shelter.
You got to find shelter, right?
So what about
have
elves
a
who
tent.
only need like a couple of hours of trance in order to recover?
Yeah, but I have a tent. Does that count as shelter?
We all bought tents.
The tent, just a tent doesn't count. You need kind of permanent shelter.
Okay.
I know how to make a hut out of leaves and branches. If I describe that to you.
So Mike, I think what we can do for the elves, roll when you want to do it, to see
Wait,
whether it counts as a long rest.
your mic cut out. I didn't catch that. Sorry.
You said to roll
We-
for it.
We can roll for that,
Roll for what?
whether it's a long rest or not.
Okay, I got you. Oh, there we go. That works for me.
Can we?
You're an elf too, right, Zig?
I am an elf. For 4 hours a day, and they gain the same benefit as a human does for 4 hours of sleep. I'm reading it right here. Trance. It's a racial trait. If that's how you want to play it, that's how we're going to play it. But I'm just reading it.
I think
so.
that's an elegant solution. That's a good compromise between the rigors of the jungle. I don't think you're going to be trancing it up when a tiger or a dinosaur might eat you at any moment.
Hey,
That's probably
hey, you don't tell me how deep of trance I can get into. Okay.
Yeah, don't tell me when
So
to
let me-
trance.
Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull the curtain back a second and tell you why this change is necessary. So D&D 5e is balanced around having 5 to 6 encounters per long rest.
And
when
we abuse the shit out of that.
It's just we're not gonna. So if every day is 1 hex, I'm not gonna have you have 5 to 6 encounters per hex. Otherwise, we'll be doing this for years.
Yeah,
We can.
I love you
we can make
guys,
it.
but yeah,
We can make it through about 3 encounters a night, depending on, 3 encounters plus or minus 1 encounter, right? So, like, unless you guys want to have 2 sessions per hex.
No, we're good.
we make our own trouble. We don't need to add built-in trouble.
Yeah. Okay, so on the battle map in front of you guys, the front here. So let's. So who's going to take the front?
I'd like to be up front.
Okay, Roland's going to be up front. So that line in front of above Roland is very front. Sigma goes all the way to the top.
Want to make sure there's no one behind me.
Steve, where do you want to go? Kind of
Well,
generally
I
speaking.
think it is fair to assume that Nick will generally be flying probably the back.
Steve goes to the back.
I would think.
so
Anybody have any
so
minority reports on that?
I would think maybe have
Or
somebody a little
recto,
tougher on our
yes.
back line in case we get jumped from the back for some reason,
I agree.
and
Okay.
keep like our squishies in the middle. I would think.
So who's in the back? Recto?
But like I could go in the back, especially because if need be, I can run to the front a little quicker than you guys too.
Good point.
Where do you
that
guys
way-
want Iku to go? She says she'll walk wherever you would care for her to walk.
Oh, in the front.
Have we asked her
We're
if she can
hanging.
fight yet?
Someone's gonna fall into a ditch. It's gonna be her.
You haven't asked her. Somebody looked at her in the temple the last night and noticed that she wasn't wielding any weapons.
Well, we
Okay.
offered
Pacifist.
she
for
still-
her pay
and-
for bodyguards, and she declined.
And in the
So
morning, you
that's
see
on her.
that she has a staff,
Okay.
but no other obvious weapons.
Iku, can you handle yourself here? Can you fight? How are you in combat?
She says, as someone who survives in the jungles of Chult, I can take care of myself if necessary, but I find it better to avoid trouble whenever possible.
We don't.
Yeah,
That's funny
knows
you
the
say
guide
that.
usually guide from the front, so she should be up in
Yeah,
very
I would think
front.
she'd probably be like right behind Roland. I would think,
Okay.
but I don't know.
She can be behind Roland if she pays us our bodyguard fee.
All right. Who's All right. Let's crank through this a little quicker. So, Steve's right behind Iku, with Hansi flying next to him.
I
Or
think it
Hansi
should
flying
be.
next to Iku.
So I think what we have is Roland, Iku, and Hansi, Zigmundo, myself, Recto, Nick up top.
Okay. So Nick's flying kind of around. Are we good with this? So I can write this one down.
Yep. Log it.
I'm running this whole campaign from my mind palace.
Okay.
I
You're
actually
probably
have
remembering
dice
it
now, and I would roll them, except I can't see them.
Okay. So
Use the streetlight, man.
The power's out on the block, man. The street light's out too.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Next question for you is: when you're on the water, you've got two canoes now. Who's in each
And
canoe?
six people, so 3 in a canoe.
Yeah.
So I
Who's-
have a
and-
question real quick
Yep.
about this, and I guess this could actually happen as well within marching orders like this.
Mhm.
I mean, like, am I able to are we able to take a short rest at all in between where I can kind of stay in some sort of animal shape? Because I get an hour per charge. I get 2 charges and a short rest resets it.
Yeah, I would say you could probably get 2 or 3 short rests throughout the day as you're traveling,
Okay.
but you're not going to be able to stop every hour.
Okay. I guess. I mean,
And,
we'll see how
let me say it this way: if you want to stop every hour, then we're going to have to go to a slow pace.
Yeah.
Okay. No. All right. I just wanted to see how that might be able to play out then.
So, to be clear, we're asking who's in what canoe, who's the navigator, who's the paddler. Is that the question?
I would like to be in the
That's-
canoe with Iku
Fair.
Okay.
because again, I'm trying to kind of learn from her.
And that'll be the frontmost canoe.
So I think one of the ones that's easy to figure out is Recto. You're the navigator for one of the canoes, right?
Right. And Iku will be the one in the other one.
Can
Okay.
she navigate?
And one person needs to
Better
be
fucking able
the
to navigate.
one person needs to be the lead navigator.
Because is that not Iku?
If she
Yeah,
knows
that's
where
right.
she's
It
going.
can be. It can be.
That's what
I'm
we're
just
paying
saying.
her for. That's literally what we're paying her for.
Yeah, I think we'd like her to do that.
Okay, so she's in the back of canoe number 1. You're in the back of canoe number 2. Recto.
Yeah, I can't move Iku, otherwise I would have put her there.
Ah. Yep. So here, we'll do it this way.
Anybody else
So-
want to make Nick the paddler of canoe number 1?
Yes.
So Roland had asked to be in the same canoe as Iku.
Yes.
Roland,
you'd be
do you
in
want to be the paddler?
Paddlers up front.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So paddling, being the main paddler, is a physically strenuous activity.
Squawk.
How physically active are these bird people? Like if he was an orc, I would understand and be like, put him up there. I don't know anything about.
Does he have
So
webbed
you have
feet?
access to his. You have access to his
Like-
character sheet. He has a strength of 10.
God. I have a strength of 10 as well.
Me too.
Not me.
We're all garbage. We're all garbage paddlers.
Where's my strength at? I bet it's not great.
We are about the weakest party this land has ever seen.
That's not the kind of adventuring we do.
Yeah, Zig, you also have a strength of 10.
I have the lowest
Yeah,
strength
I
in the
do.
group. That's crazy.
You do?
Yeah, I have an 8.
Does anybody
I
have, say, an
have-
athletics
I have an 8.
proficiency?
Nope.
I know Squawk might.
Yeah, I have athletics, but I'm navigating.
Squawk?
What does that mean when you say it's physically
Acrobatics.
taxing? What does that mean exactly?
Like you're
mechanically.
responsible as the so mechanically it's going to vary, but I'm telling you the kind of checks that a paddler might have to make. So a navigator is obviously going to be making wisdom style checks. A paddler is more likely to make strength style checks.
You know what? Steve should be one of the paddlers just in case he's got
Because of my
his luck.
precious luck points.
He's got his luck. Dude, if it's between you crashing into rocks and not,
I hate that. But you're not wrong. But you're not wrong.
Okay,
God.
so
And Steve was actually a porter in his backstory. That was his job.
I say you should go into canoe number 1 maybe because Hansy there is with
Well,
Iku.
no, it's Iku and Roland are in canoe number 1, and she's navigating.
I'll be in the middle of canoe 1.
Okay.
And Hansy's with her, but I mean, we're not going to be hundreds of feet apart, hopefully.
Sure. Yep. Okay, and so right now, Zig, you're paddling for canoe number 1.
I guess so.
How's your athletics?
Full
there,
strength.
With my spaghetti arms.
Actually, Troy, I'd like to make a slight amendment.
Okay.
When we're in canoes, Hansy comes with me if I'm paddling.
Got it. Okay. So Hansy's with you.
Call.
In canoes only.
He's on your shoulder.
Okay. So is this the way we want it? So Zigmundo's paddling canoe number 1 with Iku navigating, Roland's along for the ride. In canoe number 2, you've got Steve and Hansy paddling, Recto navigating with Squawk along for the ride.
I actually say swap me and Zig. Because if anything shit hits the fan, he's got range, I don't.
So Squawk's with you and Zig, and then it's just Steve and Recto. So we've got 4 people in canoe number...
Swap me and Zig.
I say swap. Swap you and Zig.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he's
sorry.
in the middle of the boat because
I thought you said
hits
Squawk. Squawk.
No,
Zig.
maybe I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Okay, so Roland, you're gonna paddle. Zig, you're along for the ride in the
You
middle.
go with that Zig.
What was that?
It swapped you out because you have range in case shit hits the fan. You can just blow things up as we fly by.
Yeah.
If
That's
we
not
need to
good.
shoot things from the bank, we want to
Nuke them. Set the whole jungle on fire.
It's too wet. Too moist.
How wide is this river?
You don't know yet.
I guess the guide.
Sure. So you ask Iku how wide it is, and she tells you that it of course varies. Where you're about to enter the river is the outlet into the Bay of Chult, and so it is quite wide. But then as you travel further inland, it will get narrow, and in some cases you'll be traveling through canyons. But that if you continue further and further into the island, it will widen out eventually as you enter the marshlands.
Oh yay, marshlands.
Oh, Christ. This sounds worse and worse the more you describe it.
All right, we're good on the
Okay.
on the marching order, I think.
Okay,
Are we
I've got
ready?
that written
Can we
down.
go?
Yeah.
Before we
we're
go,
good.
I'd like to go to
Alright,
Kenny
you're
Alpha's
30.
house.
I'd like to break in the door of the local merchant.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit. So a couple of days after you've left, you've been doing some hard work of porting these 2 heavy canoes, tens of miles actually, sleeping at night. You've seen traders coming back. There aren't really roads to Port Nyanzaru, but you see several trails through the grasslands, and in the distance, in front of you, you see the tree line where the jungles begin.
Traders to whom? Who are they betraying?
Traders, as
Oh.
in.
Yeah, I was like, how did we know they were traitors?
Right, they just have that look about them.
Shifty-eyed mofos.
Oh, miners.
So after 2 days of travel, oh, I'm on the wrong map. You can't see what I'm doing there. So after 2 days of travel, you reach the mouth of the river Soshin Star, and Iku tells you it's time to put the canoes into the water and head upstream.
So we still can't see a map if we're supposed to be seeing one.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yep. There we go.
I can't see one either.
I'm well aware.
Or anything, for that matter.
You should plug in your phone, man. It will charge it.
I would love to plug it into the couch, but there's no power in the couch. So
If you have a laptop, you could plug the phone into the laptop, and it would feed power to the phone.
He doesn't.
I would need to charge the laptop.
Okay. Awesome.
You could go in the car, I guess. There's always that.
Ugh. No, thank you. I'm in my pajama pants. I'm not going down to the garage.
Anyway,
when the phone runs out of battery, Steve is done for the night.
I think somebody had to do that once. I forget who. But okay, so you guys kind of take the canoes down, push them into the water, repack kind of your backpacks into the canoes themselves, pop into the canoes in the order specified, and start heading upriver. And it's a pretty slow river, so even though you're going upstream, it's not as challenging as you might have expected. Just a second while I mark something off here.
So, just a quick question. It's a river that leads into the ocean, so it's coming down from a mountain somewhere?
You would suspect so, yes.
Okay.
Or are you asking that to Iku, or?
Sure. Just as we travel, just chit chat, you know.
Yeah. So she tells you that yes, the island is almost dome shaped, where as you head deeper into the jungle, and as you look in front of you, you see this. And by the way, it's not actually an island. You're at the end of a peninsula. But she says as you head deeper into the jungles of Chult, you're heading uphill, and there are mountains, but the River Soshin Star itself doesn't go to one of the mountain peaks that are along the Mist Cliffs to the west. It actually goes deeper into the middle of what's called the Aldani Basin, which are marshlands that are raised up from above the sea level.
I'd also like to ask her if in the Aldani Basin she's familiar with any massive crater-sized areas. You know, anything resembling what I saw in my vision, where I'm picturing like a deep, like almost a crater filled with jungle kind of thing is I think what was described to me.
She thinks for a moment and she says, a crater filled with jungle. This I do not know. But there are many secrets still in the jungles of Chult.
Obviously. Okay, thanks.
I'd like to kind of, as we are getting underway here, I'd like to kind of not pull her aside, but kind of say to her, like, you know, I'm an expert of the wilderness in which I came from and lived in, and this is a fantastic area. I've never seen beasts like you have here. You seem very, at home in this environment. Can you please, as we're going, point out things that could help me, whether it be tracking or, new flora and fauna? Like, what would somebody need to know to survive in this area? Is there any way you can point things out on our way?
She tells you, yes, of course, that is what you have paid me for as a guide. I will help you reach Mbala. I will also teach you what I know of what is safe, what is dangerous. There are many dangers, but also many wonderful and beautiful things in these jungles. I'm sure you have seen our great lizards in Port Nyanzaru. Those are just the tamest of beasts. There are many others here in these jungles, some of which are dangerous, but all of which command respect, as they are the children of Ubtao.
I'd like to perk up when she starts talking about these fabulous lizards, just so she kind of sees some some initial direct interest in. Oh, okay, that.
And you see her that she as she recognizes your level of interest, she's very appreciative of that, and this is something that she wants to engage in is talking about showing things about. Yeah, it's not that kind of not that
The
kind
jungle
of
could be a lonely place.
Not yet. It's not.
Asker's never been fucked by a draft horse.
No.
Good God.
Oh boy.
That took a turn.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Right.
so are you guys good with just heading in?
Yeah.
Keep on going upstream.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm violating the pact now. There's nothing to do here, and it's total darkness. So I managed to.
This is Steve's last ride, boys.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He's drinking.
Oh.
Tonight's the decision where he decides to jump off the boat for a shiny object. Away goes Steve down the river.
Here comes the loot lust.
All right, so let me just get these mechanics correct.
And you find yourselves at Mabala.
Nope.
Damn.
Not quite. But so you do head deeper
That is
into.
the most terrifying sound in this game, by the way.
Oh, shit. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you head deeper into the jungle, and now the jungle canopy has kind of fully enveloped the river on both sides, and it's dark up above. The river has picked up a little bit of pace again in the opposite direction from you, so you're heading upstream. You have to work a little bit harder to go. As you get deeper, you hear some rustling of the leaves, and Iku kind of glances around. She tells you that it is likely the Batali tribe, that entering their lands would not go unnoticed, and that if you have to come ashore, you should do so carefully.
Are they friendly?
Doesn't sound like it.
You are actually. So let me clarify this. She tells this to Roland and Zig because
I'm
those
not
are the
in
people
that
in her
boat.
boat.
Yeah, never mind.
Yep.
Are they No, I'm just kidding.
I'd like to give him the look over, just kind of settle down, let's just take it easy.
As the paddler of the back canoe, I'll just go wherever they go.
Okay.
No, we're going wherever you go, actually, as the paddler. Oh, but you're in the back.
So
canoe.
after many miles of paddling upriver, the rustling seems to have stopped on your right side. So that's on the western riverfront. Iku kind of signals to Recto to pull over to the western side. As you can tell, even though you can't really see the sun, the canopy is tight enough. You can tell that the light is diminishing and that it's time to rest.
I'd like to ask her, are we in a safe territory?
She tells you there are very few safe territories in the jungles of Chult, but this is not safe. But it gets more dangerous as we go deeper. Now is a better time to stop.
Hey, Steve.
Here, yes.
We're stopping, Steve. I think we're getting ready to pull off here.
Roger.
Steve says, Roger.
So you guys kind of pull your canoes over to the western shore of the river. and you're able to kind of drag them up onto the shore. You see that it's thick. It's like mangrove roots coming out into the river. It's not a nice beachhead along the river at this point. You're stepping right into thick jungle the minute you pull your canoes up out of the water. It's gotten darker, and Iku says we should make camp here.
Would it be worth starting a fire? Would that be safe?
A fire would be a good idea because the weather has blessed us. There is no rain. The goblins may be attracted, but it is better to risk this now than while we have the opportunity, because in the days to come, it may not be possible.
Our particular group can start a fire under almost any conditions, right?
When Nick comes back next week, he's gonna burn down the entire jungle of Chult.
When Nick comes back next week, he will be on fire.
We could just do that, and then we'd be able to find what we're looking for very easily.
Yeah, it's much easier to find everything without all these fucking trees.
Hey, guys, I see it. It's right over there.
It's over there.
Yeah.
All right, so the next thing, I forgot to ask about is watch.
We set that last time.
Okay, so is it still going to be the same? The watch order is still going to be the same?
Yeah, I think we need to figure out what to do with Christy, though, because he was probably in it at some point, right? So maybe we can sub out Iku for Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
Okay.
Sub out Christy for Iku.
Okay. All right, so you guys break out the rations. Each of you are able to. You're all very hungry because it was. Even if you weren't at the front of the canoe, everybody's helping to paddle upstream. It's very tiring. So everybody is happy to get that meal into their stomachs. So make sure we mark off 5 rations because Iku did say she would provision for herself. And you see her. As you all start to eat, you see her kind of wander off into the woods herself, saying that she'll into the jungle herself, saying she'll be back. She needs to go get something to eat.
How many days do I have to paddle before you up my strength modifier?
It's not Skyrim.
Okay.
Okay. So about an hour later, you see Iku return, and she checks in and says, "Has everybody had enough to eat? If so, we should put out the fire and rest for the evening."
Did you?
Happy to.
Did you not want what we had to eat?
The agreement was that if you would help me travel to Mbala and take care of the issues that we find there, that I would provision for myself so as not to impose upon your
She's
group.
a vampire. She's
What did you just go eat? Something good? Anything I'd be interested in?
There are many berries and nuts in the woods, of which I could teach you more about if that is what you desire.
She told you to suck on D's nuts, Meryl.
I would like to know that.
Okay.
Candy is very interested in sucking on D's nuts.
He was
Hiller's is half a beer in, and already he's telling people to suck on these nuts.
throwing haymakers.
That wasn't me. That was Iku. Troy said that.
So, Roland, she turns to you and says, "Aha, yes. Well, maybe tomorrow evening we could go into the jungle and I could show you the Ryath roots and the Wuka nut tree. I'm able to survive at length here in these jungles by taking what Utal has provided for us."
That would be great.
Great. Okay, so she suggests putting out the fire. She's happy to stay watch and stand for watch as well. So she'll sit in for Christie's part, and you guys can try to get some sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's roll to see what happens tonight.
Oh God. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Okay. So you're able to make it through the evening and through the night with a few scares. There are noises in the bushes. Roland, you had to kind of step forward and investigate. At one point, you saw a small finned dinosaur with kind of plumage out coming off the sides of his head scatter off into the darkness before you could before you could really do anything about it. But he seemed more curious about you than a threat.
I'm going to
All
ask.
right, I'll
EQ,
take notice. Take notice of the look of that animal. Try and find
Okay.
it again, possibly.
I'd like to ask EQ on the way to Mabala, will we be coming across any settlements or shelter of a more permanent nature that we can maybe take advantage of?
So she tells you that there is a camp for the Order of the Gauntlet, not too far ahead, a few days' journey upstream from here.
What's the Order of the Gauntlet?
She says it is one of the institutions from where you come from. I do not know very much about it. It is foreigners who have come here to Chult.
Oh yeah,
for
that.
their own purposes.
Is it on the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, the Order of the Gauntlet. Who doesn't know what that is?
Iku doesn't.
Is it on the way,
Well-
though, or would we have to go out of our way to get there?
Are you asking that of Iku?
Yes.
She tells you that it is on the way to Mbala. Before you reach Mbala, you will have to journey all the way through the jungles along the River Ocean Star. You will pass Camp Righteous as well as Camp Vengeance. And then you will enter the Aldani Basin. And from there, you can set out for Mbala.
Steve appreciates that is exactly what he would name camps if he put them in the jungle.
All right, so
This year.
So you start to head deeper into the jungle, and let's see. I'm going to have Recto. Can you go ahead and roll perception?
Boom.
So as you're traveling through, you notice some dilapidated wooden signs along the eastern edge of the riverbank, with what looks like skull and crossbones crudely painted along the signs. They're every 100 yards or so.
How close are we to the other boat? Like,
Why don't you guys tell me how close you want to try and stay?
How fast paced is it?
The river at this point is still not very fast paced. So you could keep
20 feet.
close.
I'd say 10 feet.
we're talking like Fellowship
15?
of the Ring canoeing here, or what are we?
I'm paddling. I say, 20 feet.
Yeah, you're not seeing any whitecaps or anything of that nature at this point. There's no rapids. It's pretty still.
Okay.
Close enough that we can communicate and be very close to each other, but not so close that if something untoward happened to the front canoe, I couldn't get out of the way.
So that said, since I noticed those signs, I'd kind of like to be like, psst, psst, guys, check out those signs.
Sure. And so you said 10 feet between
20.
the two? 20.
20.
Ish.
I mean, not
Yes.
exactly 20. I mean, but like in that general area, yes.
So I mean, that's close enough that a whisper won't reach, but a normal speaking voice should be.
Right.
Hand signals should be visible from many times that distance. So
That's right.
We should develop our own jungle language. Be like,
if you point at your eyes and then snap over in a direction, it's pretty obvious what you.
yeah. So anyway, so I kind of draw everybody's attention to the signs.
Okay.
In hopes that somebody might tell us what they are.
Ready to learn Navy SEAL hand signs.
So Iku sees what you're looking at and says, "Yes, this is why we should camp on the western side of the river. We should not go there."
Who was there?
To Roland and Zig.
So I'm gonna point to that side and do like the cutthroat sign, then point back to the west bank, give the thumbs up sign.
Oh, why would I draw a line across his neck? What would that accomplish? I might as well just kill him.
Okay.
There's not a good hand sign for set everything on fire.
So several more hours journey. You see signs get further apart, more dilapidated. Several posts remain, but the signboard itself are now gone. You're reaching deeper and deeper, and all kind of signs of civilization have started to recede. But once again, the evening is growing dark, and Iku signals to pull off onto the western side of the river to make camp.
Oh, quick question, Troy. And you might have done this already, but the shield guardian that Sindra told us about, apparently she
Correct.
marked that on our map on where that was.
She did. It is this X right there.
Okay, right above Camp Vengeance, right there. Okay,
that's correct. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Unless you've got some lead on its control stone, it's not worth the time.
Well.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just statuary unless you can know how to work it. And you're literally looking for a rock in the jungle the size of the earth.
Yeah, but we've got a shield guardian.
And yet.
Okay. So you guys pull off once again on the edge of the river. You're able to pull the canoes up. This time you see, as you pull it up, Iku kind of signals towards a clearing just a little bit further inland and says, "Do you see this? Come, look."
All right. Well, I'll go
to all of you.
Yeah,
I follow.
So as you follow her, let's see. I think Squawk is the first to see something. The rest of you don't see anything, but you walk maybe 30 feet into this dense jungle, and all of a sudden you can see this clearing open up, and beyond the clearing is there's a watering hole, a lake with still water with 3 large brontosauruses drinking from the lake, and several smaller brontosauruses, babies, if you will, kind of scattering below, walking back and forth between the legs and tails of the adults.
I stand up. I stand up and I remove my hat with a shaking hand and rip my glasses off my face.
Yes.
And then I get to Steve and I grab his head and I turn it and point it right at the brontosauruses.
Awesome.
You wear glasses?
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah, I'd like to. Just really take in that site.
Can we go?
Okay,
we try to go touch them?
You can.
I would like to go touch a brontosaurus.
All right.
Roll for wonderment.
So you approach. So probably about 100 yards away from here. It's a sizable lake that you can walk around the edge of.
It's across a lake. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part.
Well, yeah, they're sitting at like a lake or a pond. It's a sizable pond. You can easily see across the entire thing from here, and the entire herd of them are drinking from that lake.
Oh, and I have to go around the lake to get to them. I'm not gonna.
Not all the way around, but
But it's an
200 to 300
opening. Like
feet.
I can see. Like it's pretty open. Like there's not.
The lake itself is very open. The jungle is, of course, surrounding the lake on all sides, but the clearing is really a clearing for the lake itself.
Yeah, never mind. I'm not going. Forget that.
Steve posts a selfie to his Instagram.
Yeah, there you go. I'll do that too. To just
Like,
tag.
ask
Can
what
you
she
can you
knows
tag
about
me
these
in that,
creatures.
Steve?
Yeah, I'll tag you.
All right, thanks.
I'll finger bang you into the.
Good.
Whatever
I want to
the
ask
tech-
Iku.
Yikes.
I want to ask Iku what she knows about them. Basically, what they're called here. What can she tell us about them? Should we go close to them? Shouldn't we? Are they? How are they useful?
Yes. So she tells you that these are called brontosauruses. That's what they call them here, which is not a term you would have heard outside of Chult. So this is a new term to you. And she tells you that they are harmless unless you provoke them, and that if you do not respect them, then they can be fierce. And she kind of motions up into the sky at them to see they're fucking huge. Be careful.
Can we tame them?
She looks at you with a bit of disappointment, and
I'm gonna look at him with the same disappointment.
I'm used to that.
the children of Uptao should remain wild here in the jungles.
I'd like to ask her about that name.
Uptao?
The children of.
Uptao is one of the gods of Chult. He is who created the dinosaurs. He is who created Mesro. He is who created the jungle itself. But he has been gone for a long time. But we should still respect what he has given us.
What happened to him?
We do not know. We believe that there are stories that a city far to the south fell into slavery and fell into the abuse of his children, and that Uptao has left us as punishment.
What's a mesro?
She says Mesro is a city far to the east. It was once the jewel of Chult, but was destroyed long ago.
It is on our map, Hillary.
Oh, okay.
How long ago did this all happen? How long ago did he create this jungle? You know who this was. This seems like it would be fairly recent, but this jungle is intense.
I could not tell you how long ago Uptao created these things. This creation happened many, many lifetimes ago.
How did he create them? Are they magical? Is this a magical jungle?
Uptao, and she kind of looks at you as if she's a little confused at first, and then says, Uptao has much power. He is a force of nature. He is he's the creator of all things here in Chult.
And he just
He's
left.
describing a god too.
Yeah. But usually they're based on someone. So I'm trying to get that.
Are you trying to debunk her religion?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Tonight at 6.
Let's have a religious debate. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah. I don't need to dive too much more into it. It sounded like it was an actual person. at
You
first,
try to
so.
tell me Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
Okay, so unless anybody wants to do anything else, you return back to the shore, verify that your canoes and your packs are still there. She prepares to walk off into the jungle to provision for herself, and she comes and taps Roland on the shoulder and says, "Come if you would like to learn more of how to sustain your needs in the jungles of Chult."
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, I'm already on board.
Steve's
So-
already
so-
asleep.
So, Roland, you're going to go? Yeah?
Yep.
And Zygmunder, were you saying you want to go? Or
Yeah, I'm going.
okay. And so she looks and says, and she smiles and says, it is good. The more of you that would like to learn about Chult and about Uptao's blessings, you are all welcome.
I'll stay back and meditate.
Okay.
Steve is asleep.
Okay. All right, Squawk's doing Squawk things.
Oh,
Flying in
God.
the air and
God, I
shitting all
hope
over
not.
everything.
I hope he's not doing squawk things.
So you wander into the she's it's almost like you're not sure if she's knows where she's going or not. She's looking for something, and eventually she finds a small tree, and she's able to pull back a cluster of leaves, and you find this cluster of nuts inside of the leaves, and she plucks a cluster of them out and says, "These are wuka nuts, and they can be found throughout the jungle. If you find them, they are very, very useful and very filling." She kind of shows you how to crack one open and eat the meat out of the center of the nut, and hands one out to you, Zygmundo, and to you, Roland.
I'd like to ask her if there's any other use of them. Are they used? Well, really, anything else? Any other kind of recipes, or or are they just sort of good eating?
Yeah. So she says yes and smiles and says, "Many things in Chult have other uses." And she takes one of the nuts and she kind of cracks it a couple times against a larger tree, and you see the wuka nut starts to glow a bit. And she says, "In case you have difficulty finding your way, a wuka nut can help you."
How long?
It will not last the whole night, but it could help you find your way for an hour or so.
How many of these are in like one of those pods? Would you say?
So if you were to look at a whole tree, you could probably find 20 or so.
Of individual nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Is that canonical? Okay. That's amazing.
I'd like to. Can I try to just
take as much? Like there is more I would like to show you.
I'll take 8. Yeah, can you give me the spelling of that just so I can throw up my card?
Yeah, it's WUKKA.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So she walks a bit further, and after another about 10 minutes walking, you're able to find another tree that has dark green leaves, but these bright pink fruit hanging from the leaves. And she plucks one down and looks at it and says, "Not this one." And she kind of searches with her finger in the tree's leaves and finds another and plucks it and shows it to you. And you can see that it's the same fruit, but one of them is wrinkled and the other is not. And she says, "These," and she holds you up the wrinkled one, this is safe. This is nourishing. This is the maracuya. This is very good." And she takes a big bite out of it and smiles. But she shows you the other one, which is looks maybe a little bit not greener, but it's there's no wrinkles. There are no wrinkles in the skin. And she says to you, "This, when they are new, quite deadly. Be very careful."
Holy shit!
Are these fruit plentiful?
Plentiful?
Yes, in the area.
I think on this tree you could probably find a I would say 10 to 12.
Well, I
These
mean,
are
like
large.
in general in the area. There's enough fruit that can really like last. I don't want to like grab a bunch of like nuts I can take, but fruit I don't want to have.
Got it.
Yeah.
So she tells you that yes, the maracuya is there are many maracuya trees in the jungles of Chult. It is used in some cases as simple medicine for the residents of Port Nyanzaru. There are many maracuya trees throughout the jungle.
Medicine for what?
Question: do they actually heal?
They don't really heal in your terms, in terms of like health points, but it's kind of like medicine man kind of help with your headache.
It sounds like that puffer fish that you can get as a sushi, where if you get the right part, if you get the wrong part.
I'm gonna take super high note of the difference between a deadly and non-deadly one. I'm gonna take a wrinkly ass one, and I'm gonna eat it on the spot, but I'm not gonna get it.
Okay, you taste it. It tastes it's a bit sour. It tastes like passion fruit to you. It's a combination of sweet and tangy. Very, I would imagine you would probably like it. It's quite good, especially after the long paddling journey today. It's very refreshing and filling.
Great, cool.
Filled with sugar. Okay, and so you guys kind of wander. She plucks a few more of the maracuya fruit herself, and she's doesn't seem to eat a lot, but takes a bit, and she says we should return to the camp before it gets too dark.
All right, I'll follow her back. I'll thank her for everything that she had shown us.
Yep. So you guys walk back to the camp and make ready for camp, assuming we go with the same watch order.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
Horrifying every time.
Okay. So let's see. It's gonna. And let me just look at something real quick. Sorry. Does anybody know where the watch order is posted?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we review what that was? Because I don't remember.
I think it was somewhere. It was somewhere in our forum there.
It was on our message.
I know,
But
we didn't include the word watch in the subject, so I don't
How
think.
about night?
It would have been early.
Been about 3/8 of the way through the mines campaign.
3/8.
3/8. Nice. Okay.
Somebody kept posting these damn
It was
damage
about
healing
7/16 of the way through. 13:30 seconds, if you really want to be exact.
If it's exactly 3/8 of the way through, I want credit. I want an inspiration.
All right, so it was right after Agatha's lair, right after the new travel rules, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing it.
You want to just make it and write it down?
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right, let me look at one last one, because I just found where Christy joined.
So basically, me and Zig only need 4 hours. So
Okay.
we were taking, I think, the middle session maybe, and that way the other guys could take first or last and get 8 hours that way. Yeah.
So Recto and Zig are in the middle.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
How many hours do we need to cover?
My power's back on, guys.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
I'll join you on the internet momentarily. I'll stay on the phone. Honestly, if I can avoid it, I should be out of the watch order because my perception is garbage.
No, you can't avoid it. I think we need you in there.
They put me in the first.
So you need at least so here's the deal, right? You need Generally, you want people to get 8 hours.
But me and Zig do not need 8 hours, though.
That's right. So you want to try and get everybody else to have 8 hours.
Right.
Put me in the
You
first.
basically
if I
cover
need
whatever
to.
it takes to do that.
Right. So that would mean Hillers. Let's say Hillers and I guess.
Even if it's not planned out that we get 8 hours in the jungle, we don't get long rest. Correct? That you said earlier.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you can still suffer from exhaustion, I think, if you don't get sleep.
Mike, are you sure I need to be in the watch order with you and Zig doing 2 hours each and Iku doing 2 hours?
Actually, yeah, Zig and I can actually do 2 watches.
And Roland doing 2 hours. I don't need to be in there at all. That's the whole night.
Yeah, so Zig and I can do we can wake up at 2 in the morning or whatever. Like, how many hours do we need to cover for this?
I mean, in order to accomplish what?
Like
A full night's sleep.
A full night's rest, basically.
So you want the non-elves to get 8 hours. So you could just cover 8 hours by having everybody do that at once, and then you guys could cover. You could be awake for 4 of those hours, and then everybody's asleep for 4 of the hours.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But so we're only talking 8 hours of watch that needs to be taken care of, basically.
Yeah, between you and Zig and Iku, that's 6 hours.
Yeah, but we need to have 2 people up at once, not just one. I feel like.
It's going to have to take you more than 8 hours if you don't want. If you do it in 8 hours, then at some point everybody's got to be asleep at the same time. Right.
Maybe.
Or I guess you wouldn't. You guys could. You and Zig could go like this. Like you could cover the first 4 hours, and then Zig could cover the second 4 hours, and then you'd do it in 8 hours. But you'd only have one of you on watch.
I feel like we had 3 watches when we were doing it in the past. We were doing 4-hour watches, and we'd have to do 12 hours of basic watch from
Also, Troy, Hansy's up all night.
He doesn't rest?
As far as I know, no one told me an infernal demon needs to sleep.
That's a good point.
Unless it says otherwise, he needs to sleep. He needs to rest. He's a creature.
So,
I'll look into it.
So again, it comes down to when you say we need to cover watch. I don't know what that what the hour time we're talking. Like when we put up camp, when people are going to sleep, what time is that typically happening, and what time are we typically waking up to head out?
I mean, this is what I'm saying. It's up to you guys what you want to do. But let's say that you wanted to generally go to sleep at 10, generally wake up at 6, right? That would be 8 hours.
Right.
You might have to extend.
When we need to be up and out.
So Iku tells you we should make use of the daylight that we can. The trees, the jungle, the canopy hides the daylight for many hours, but by 6, she gives you the equivalent of 6. It'll be light enough to get back onto the river.
Okay.
So,
and then roughly around 6 to 8 p.m. it's dark.
Well, then we could. I mean, if you guys are fine with just one of us, Zig could take 4 hours, I could take 4 hours, and we could be done with it, and that's our 8 hours watch.
Sure. I'm fine with that. We're wasting a bunch of time on this.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about
Let's
that.
do that. I'll do 4.
Okay, so you're gonna have Rector. You're gonna take watch first.
Sure.
Okay, and then Zig, you're gonna take watch after that.
Sure.
For 4 hours.
Yep.
And then everybody else sleeps the whole time. So you guys are doing 8 hours with one person on watch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just a minute. think we're gonna have a Steve with us in a second.
Sounds like it.
Okay, so in that case, we're only going to do 2 watches. Right. Okay, and Zig, you're awake for the second part.
Yep.
And sorry, just a minute. Gotta draw something here.
Chris just texted.
Did he lose his power again?
He says he has no idea what's going on with his internet.
I think he's figured it out. Looks like he's joining.
He's on. Hillers, your mic is muted. I'm not sure if you can hear us or not, but in Discord, you're actually muted.
All right, so Zigmundo.
Hello?
Yeah, there you are.
Hey, I can't hear you.
There you are.
Okay, the phone. Oh, and the internet's out. Okay, everything's working again. I'm gonna be fully up in 30 seconds.
All right.
Do we want to take?
It was just getting the watch order figured out.
You guys want to take
Your
a quick
character-
break while
yeah.
he's getting set up? Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay. Cool. I'll be right back. Also, the combat music is coming. Oh god.
Oh God. All right, I'm hanging up on the phone.
Okay, so Discord is working, and
Awesome.
internet is now working.
I can see your ugly face.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't usually do the video calls. There's
Yeah.
enough goblins in the game.
Oh, come on, man.
A weaselly creature creeps out of the darkness. He seems kind of drunk.
How much do you had already?
Huh?
How much do you had already?
You see this cup? Is this on the webcam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bourbon.
Wow.
Well, I figured I was doing nothing for the rest of the night and I would have no electricity whatsoever.
Plan on not going to work tomorrow? Like, Jesus.
Well, I didn't think I'd drink all of it, but you know, it's like might as well pour it. I'll put it in the fridge if I don't drink it.
I was gonna say you're gonna put it in the fridge, keep the bourbon from getting some bacteria.
Yeah. That's exactly the plan. Yeah.
Bourbon will kill all the bacteria. Yeah, I think you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Good to be properly back in there. I was like, this phone's going to run out of battery. We're going to get to our one fight of the night. And I'll be like, and then the phone dies.
All right, is everybody back?
This break brought to you by Georgetown Cupcake.
There you go.
This break brought to you by Camp Kickass. Located in between Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance. Did 12-year-olds name all the camps on this island?
Camp Awesome.
All right,
No homers.
So Zig, it's getting to be early morning. You've finished waking up out of your trance, worked with Recto to let him know he could go down, and you start to hear this kind of. Well, actually, go ahead and do a perception check, please.
All right. And my base perception is. Okay, where'd my? I click you back. Where? All right.
Your passive is 14.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Woo!
So
I
you
perceive
hear
everything.
you hear some splashing in the river to your east.
Uh-oh. I look over that way because I have my dark vision as an elf, and I'm now looking. I'm on guard. I'm up, and I'm readying myself for an encounter.
You see four humanoid figures walking slowly towards you, wading through the water. They're at about chest height in the water.
I go and I nudge with my foot real quickly. Recto, get him up, and then I ask him as he's groggy. I see some people in the water up ahead. What do we do?
Do I wake up?
Okay. I mean,
I
yeah.
kick
I think,
you, I hope so.
Kelly Clarkson.
You better wake up. There's a turn order menu coming up.
So I don't wait for him to come out of the grogginess. I go and I hit a I'd like to go and I'd like to take a lightning bolt right to the center of that party in the water.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go. Here's how we're gonna do.
Whoa.
Is we're gonna do a
That escalated quickly.
we're gonna do initiative, and then we're going to treat that as you'll start off a surprise round.
Do I just click it?
Yeah, because
we don't have
time.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Sorry. Let's go ahead and.
Oh, there we are. Hang on.
Oh, by the way, I know I didn't introduce it before, but this is what Steve decided to look like after his second or third face shift. You'll notice his token is different. He's a little bit darker and he looks a little bit more pissed off because he got filled full of javelins and left in a ditch. So.
Well, I thought that the zombies were rolling poorly, but Recto, thank you.
No, that's not
Showing
right.
that it can always be worse.
That's not right because that can't be right because my initiative modifier is 4, so my macro is not working. Hang on. So
Why don't you just click on the initiative button?
Looks right to me.
No, because it just said equals a 1d20.
What?
Halfling luck
You could just
plus
click on the word
4.
initiative after selecting your token, then it would do this.
I don't know, Trey. I'm fine taking the 1 if I mean, yeah, it's
Take
my own
one.
fault, so I'll take the 1. That's fine.
Yep, that's your problem.
Hold on. Let me see what your modifier is. And
My
then we can just
modifier is
manually add
4,
that.
so I don't know how I rolled a 1.
Initially, Andrew, I was thinking, why would he just shoot people without even saying hello? But now looking at their tokens, I totally get it. If that's what you saw, I would have fireballed first and asked questions later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really strange, Mike.
So again, I'll take a 1. I'll take a 5.
Just go ahead and click the initiative on your character sheet. Okay, there you go.
Isn't that what everyone does?
That's what I thought everybody did.
It is,
I think
but
he had a macro.
I
for
set
it.
up the macro. On this, since I've set up my Recto Kyoto 2.0 page, this is the first time I've used that, so that's why that's different. So we haven't had to roll initiative in like a month and a half, so that's why.
It's true. All right, so let me go ahead and update some of you guys that are asleep. And I'm just going to take Squawk off of here, actually. Recto, you're awake, but you are still seated. So
I don't know, man. Just fireball him for God's sakes.
I already
I know.
Okay,
went in
so
on this.
yeah, so here's what we'll do is so yeah, Roland, you're not gonna have heard anything at this point.
Well,
you're
aren't you doing
still asleep.
Thunderbolt or something like that?
Yeah, he hasn't done it yet. You're gonna do it as part of this turn, and this is gonna be a surprise round, which means that the zombies don't get to react at all. So Recto, but you are awake, so during the surprise round, you can do something. You're currently prone.
So I'm just gonna get up, and I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up Roland. Actually, how many people can I wake up? I'm prone.
Well, how do you want to wake them up?
I'd like to go over and just kick them.
Ah!
I mean, you probably have enough movement. Because what is your movement, like 40?
45.
307.
Yeah, basically.
I'd like to
So,
go.
I mean, I'll say it's a
what
pretty much
I'd
a
like
free
to
action.
do.
Just
No, I'm sorry.
happen.
I'd like to wake up Iku
Okay.
and ask.
So you walk over to her. I assume you walk over to her.
Yeah, I walk over to her and
Make her awake.
I kind of nudge her and gently, kind of like shake her gently, kind of to wake her up. And I want to ask her. We see something. Any idea who these people might be?
She kind of wakes up and it seems to come to quite quick. And she says, "What do you see?"
Four humanoids walking through the water. They're very dark, kind of scary looking, almost orcish.
She says, "If something is walking towards us from the river, that is like the undead. This is why I said we should not go to the other side, but that does not mean that the other side cannot come to us."
Okay, fair enough. Do I have enough move to still wake up Steve and Roland, or is that my surprise turn?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then I'd like to go do that. I'd like to kind of do the same to them and kind of let them know, hey guys, wake up, we got incoming.
Okay. So you kind of walk by Steve, kind of gently shake him. So Steve, you wake up, but you are still prone. Same thing to you, Roland.
By the way, Troy, there's no specific reference as to whether imps sleep or not, so it's DM dependent.
So there's no specific reference to if a human sleeps or a halfling sleeps. So I would say the default is something sleeps unless it says that they do not.
You are the creator of the world, so.
Because there are things that do say this thing doesn't require sleep. There are creatures that say that.
Just letting you know. I've been doing some research now.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, so Recto, I think that's your turn. Zigmundo, go for it.
Yeah. Lightning bolt. So the lightning bolt does 100 feet long, 5 feet wide. So what I was planning on doing was this, if you can see my line.
Yep, that'll hit both of them.
Yeah. But I was also wondering, I'm going to do it anyway, but I was wondering, because they're in water, and because
they're
it's
in the water.
electricity. Was that?
Dude.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that. Can you go ahead and post the spell, just so I don't know if the spell already says something?
There's no inherent advantage into it. I've looked into this quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
here's what
I
I'll...
looked into it as well. There's not a lot that deals with it. It's basically DM's choice on whether or not electricity, because of like the whole thing of like science versus magic comes into play.
Sure. So I like it. I'm going to go for it. Here's what I'm going to say. Edge on the saving throw.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm gonna go roll that now.
So do you just cast the bolt into the water?
I cast it in a
You can probably
line.
cast it along just off the top
So-
of the water.
So imagine a 5 foot in diameter beam, right? And if they're chest deep in the water, I could effectively like gleam that through.
They become the ground to the water.
Angle it down just
Well,
slightly.
no, plus
Well, it doesn't matter. You hit
no.
them, they ground them to the water.
Yeah, and they're wet anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
and the first one would have saved, but didn't because of that disadvantage.
Well, hold on, I haven't even rolled yet.
I don't think you have to roll to it.
he just rolls
Okay,
damage.
yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
We're seeing your GM rolls, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay, I don't know if he cared.
Nice.
I'll turn it off later. And your DC is 15. All right, so it does hit them both, and actually, it would not have hit either. Well, it would have. They would have made their saves otherwise. All right, so they're going to take full damage, which as you cast this arc of lightning energy pierces through the torso, the upper chest of the first one, goes right into the second one. You see the water around it crackle and around both of them, and kind of lightning arcing right back into them, and as their kind of eyes roll back in their heads, and they just kind of fall back and float down under the surface of the water. They are gone.
Okay, so are we to assume that these fellows right here somehow... The reason why I was asking for the lightning damage is, does it spread through the water in a radius? Okay,
No.
cool. Fair enough. That's the end of my turn.
Getting greedy.
Hey, you gotta ask.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, no harm in asking, right?
All he can say is no, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Steve sort of wakes up, is a little groggy, sees Zigmundo totally lightning the shit out of those two, and goes, and then throws his first blast at the one in the middle that's still up, I guess.
Okay. Sorry, are you standing up, or are you doing this from
No,
your...
This is still a surprise. This is still a surprise for him. Sorry to be hey teacher, but you're in the same boat. You're in the same boat as me. You're just woken up.
Can I not attack?
So
Because I was just woken up in this turn.
right, but you
could have
were
ended with me.
But he's yeah, you know what?
How can I be surprised when Recto woke me up and told me an attack was coming?
Because you're still in the process of being woken up, Hillers. It's like it's all happening at the same time. Like these all the turns, these don't happen sequentially. They all happen in parallel.
So I don't have this turn.
You don't have this turn, and neither do the zombies.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andy.
Hey man, if I don't get to do something, I'll pee you though.
All right, roll it.
I would have killed them both from a reclined position and gone back to sleep. So...
Well, I will stand up, and that is my move, correct?
That's half of your move.
I did still get to chuckle though, right?
So that's 15 feet of your move.
Yeah, so I get 50. I'll move up 15 to there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll have a ready action. If somebody gets in melee damage, I'll smack him with my shillelagh.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. And so that's going to be Recto's turn then.
Watch me run laps around him and come back all in my one movement.
All right, so I'm gonna move to that spot. Oh wait,
Look, well,
I'm
keep
gonna
in
move to
mind,
this.
guys, they're chest deep in water. That's got to be difficult terrain for them.
I'm gonna move to this spot here. Can I just move myself there? Yeah, and then I'm gonna sunbolt the closest one.
Okay. All right, and that will hit. And so is it? It only does the 6 radiant damage. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that they might be
Undead.
Well, they are undead, but I think they might have. No? Huh. I thought they might have a vulnerability to it.
Right. Then I will do it again.
Okay, so hold on. So sorry, which one did that go to?
The northern one.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
I missed that. Then I'm gonna.
And the second one misses.
Yeah, I'll spend a key point to do 2 more.
Okay.
Wow.
Miss. Hit. On the top one.
Yeah.
Throw 2 runs in a row. Jeez. You're bad at this.
Yeah, I am. So I hit the top one for a total of 13.
Yep, it's already updated. All right,
And
Sigmundo.
then, hang on.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rico.
Because where was I?
Right there.
No, but where did I start? Like
Oh,
there.
You're behind me. Yeah, right there,
somewhere
right
around
there.
Yep.
So I
This is your
moved
job.
30, so I'm gonna move back behind the canoe. Can I move back
Maybe.
there? To like right there.
Okay. Great. All right, Zygmundo.
See, just check distance here. Well within my distance. I'm gonna just get a firebolt the northern one.
Okay. Let's see. That does hit. Oh, and actually, hey, Meryl, so did your other two ones we thought you missed.
They don't even have an 8? Jeez.
So you actually, Meryl, you were just barely able to destroy one of them. So you saw on your very last sunbolt, it went into the eye of one of them, and a piercing yellow light came out of it and
Okay.
fell down.
Man,
Cool.
these are the
Uh,
peoniest peons we've seen in some time.
So this one hits as well. So your firebolt hits it for 13 damage.
All right, that ends my turn.
All right, Steve.
Steve goes back to sleep.
Okay.
How brash!
All right.
That's so Steve.
Oh, oops. Hold on. I've got to add. All right, so let's see. Zombie. All right, so this zombie moves up to here. You start to see. Actually, let's see.
Troy, I'm
Right.
sorry, I forgot to mention.
Uh-huh.
Hansy goes to help Roland.
Okay. Great. And Roland, go ahead and roll perception.
Do that.
Is that
I have a 17 base.
Okay, with 17 base, yeah, you'll see that you can see that there's more movement underneath of the water, but nothing has yet broken the surface. The one zombie that you can see kind of got a little bit closer, and then you do see the heads of 3 more zombies
Way to go,
start to
Steve.
slowly emerge from the surface of the river.
fucking Steve, man?
Roland.
You didn't actually go back to sleep in 1 second, did you?
Well, I was barely awake to start with.
I'd like to look back at Zig and yell to wake that asshole up.
Sorry, guys. I just
I'm
thought it was
gonna
funny, and now
move-
it's a problem.
Oh, and let me go. I'm sorry, I forgot to add E.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. When is she getting in the fray on this?
What's she gonna poke him with a stick?
Maybe.
She,
maybe.
just-
She might have magic.
Maybe she shoots lasers out of her eyes. For all I know.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know shit about her combat abilities.
So she walks up closer to the beach, and she doesn't look terribly concerned. And she turns to you all and kind of shouts, "It's the dead of Mesro. They are looking for their next meal. Dispatch them quickly."
That was helpful. We were already on top of it.
All right, Roland, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna move up to here,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna set her a reaction if somebody gets into melee range. If they get into melee range, I am going to wild shape. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to wild shape. That's okay.
Okay. All right. Recto.
Okay. I'm gonna go there. I can see this guy coming out of the water.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go right in front of Roland there. 25 feet to.
Right there, or
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And
You can see all of them now.
Oh, so they're. So here's a question.
Like you're standing on the surface, so you're standing on the shore
My
line
rolls
right now.
are so good today. The Do I get that extra undead damage if I don't activate the Stone Fist? I can't remember. I couldn't find that in the
No.
text. I don't think I do,
so.
right? So
That's punching.
right.
So then that's just the 6 damage, and then I'll hit him again.
Okay. Both of those hit, and so with the second blow, you knock his jaw off, and kind of neck kirks to the side, and he slowly sinks down into the water.
All right. Then, I am going to. How dense is the foliage where we are?
So the green line off to your west, that's where it gets super dense. Right where you are, it's somewhat dense, but not quite difficult terrain. Everything to the west of you, past that green line, is difficult terrain.
So here's why I ask.
Actually, let me... Yep.
So although hide is an action, right?
Hide is an action.
So never mind.
You
In
would
that
be able to
case-
hide where you are. It's dense enough that people can...
Yeah, but I already used my attack, so I'm going to stay where I am and end my turn.
Okay. All right, Sigmundo.
Let's see the distance here. I'm gonna fireball the northernmost one with firebolt.
All right.
Oh. The way you phrased that, I was like, he's casting a fireball on one zombie?
Digging
All right.
around, man.
That's super overkill.
I didn't know how
Time for you,
big.
Zig.
Yeah, that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Steve.
Steve, Hansy sees what's going on, comes back to Steve, kind of slaps him awake, points him at the oncoming zombies, and Steve goes, "Ah, ah," and then just sort of points his hand at the southernmost one and Eldritch blasts it.
Okay.
That's
That does hit.
number
And you wanna
one.
push the- Okay.
Oh, let's see. Was that? Yeah, it's a 1. I rolled a 1. Christ. And here's the.
That misses.
And you rolled a 2.
And I rolled a 2 with it. And a 1 on
And
the
a 1 on
attack.
the attack.
and a 2 on the- God.
Well, you did just
That's
wake
what
up.
happens
I
when
mean, you
you
just
sleep.
woke up, dude.
Yeah, I woke up like this.
Mhm.
So, okay, 4 damage. This ends my turn.
Next time you'll be better.
Okay. All right, so
I should have had
somebody
hands
gets
help
about
me
here.
as well. But I assumed his action was waking me, so.
All right, Roland.
I'd like to head right in front of that zombie. Oh, I'd like to enter the water, go underneath
Okay.
the water,
Okay.
where I'm unseen, and then pop
Okay.
up in front of that zombie as a giant toad.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Hold on.
That's pretty awesome.
There he is.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Steve goes back to sleep.
Well, this is done.
We're done here. That's fine.
And I would like to swallow the zombie.
Okay. All right.
It should be just a. It should
So
be
you
just
have to
a
be grappling
D20.
at first. So it says that if you want to swallow it, you have to.
Toad
You're
makes
swallowing
one
it.
fight against a medium or smaller target. It is grappled.
It is grappling, so you have
It
to.
is grappling.
You have
have
to
to-
lick it first and then swallow it.
You have to take the grapple action on one turn and then do the swallow action on the next turn, basically.
Yeah.
All right, I'll grapple him.
All right, and the let's see.
Your weird toad hands.
That's a normal bite. So your bite does grappling.
I gotcha. Okay.
Nice.
So it's D20 plus 4. I'll
You can just click-
create macros for this guy.
Yeah.
Ew, gross. If
Are you-
the toad dies,
Oh, God damn it.
the creature's no longer trying to
Oh, do I get
do
do I get another one of those because of my savage attacker? I get 2 melee attacks.
What does Savage Attacker do? If you can remind me?
Once per turn, you can roll damage for your damage for melee. Attack.
Yeah, not your attack
Reroll.
roll.
That's just damage. Yeah. So it's the one.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Okay. Wah, wah. All right. Recto.
I'm gonna sunbolt the northernmost one,
Mm-hmm. That'll hit.
and if he's still alive, I would like to sunbolt him again,
Okay. All right, now he's toast.
and then I will sunbolt the southernmost one. I'm gonna spend another
Yep.
key point for 2 more attacks, and then again.
Okay. Okay. Great.
He's still up.
He is. Zigmundo.
1 point.
He's looking pretty rough though.
Yeah,
he's
got
looking
1
really.
point left. Damn it. Oh no, never mind. Because Zig hit the other guy first. So, yeah, I'm done.
All right, firebolting the southernmost one.
All right, that kills him. So the firebolt kind of flies through the air, hits him right in the throat, and it burns through, pops out the back, and his head lops off.
Great.
Is that it for your turn, or?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's it. Okay.
That's what he do, man.
All right, Steve.
So that zombie's still alive. What's his cover situation, given that there's a giant toad biting him right now?
I'm gonna say
giant toad cover.
I'm gonna say that's half cover, given that Roland's so big.
All right.
The toad, yo.
I'd like to have Hansy help me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see him eat him.
That'll hit.
Crit!
Okay.
Let's say, let him eat him.
No.
All
You
right.
woke me up. I'm shooting something.
All right. Are you done, Steve?
I think I'm pretty done, right? Like, wait, no, I mean, if he's dead, then I won't shoot him the second blast, but I do have
Oh, no.
one more
He's
lined
not
up.
dead. He's not dead.
Is he dead now?
Yeah, now he's dead.
Okay.
You didn't actually get your
All
crit.
right.
You didn't get your crit damage there, did he? Oh yeah, he did. Never mind. He just rolled
He
a
did.
1 on his second roll.
Like I do. Whatever, I
All
mean,
right.
it's 24 damage
Yeah,
from
man.
my ass. And I go back to sleep.
And scene.
I'd like to, as we're kind of walking away from that fight, as I transform back, I'd like to walk past Iku and be like, now you see what I can do, and I'm looking for different creatures to be able to study for this ability. I want her to kind of understand what I'm looking for from her to point out as well.
She looks at you and she's already watching you, Toad, as you're kind of walking
Chicka
back,
wow wow.
and you can tell
There's a
that
giant toad.
she's watching you very keenly as you transform back into your human form. She looks on and nodding very approvingly, and as you kind of relay to her that you're looking for more forms, she says, "Well, there are many forms here in Chult, many natural forms and very many unnatural. You will have many opportunities to see and experience and learn these, and perhaps there are other more secret forms that I can show you after we've finished with our journey to Mbala."
She
Please
talking
turn
about
to page
she talking
19 of
about
the
butt stuff.
conversation.
She might be. She might be.
Yeah, you never know.
Is he naked and glistening as he arrives in the river?
I always am.
That's a serious
my natural
RP
state.
issue if your natural state is naked and
This is
glistening.
my natural state. That's how you keep cool in the summer.
We're gonna have to retcon some shit if you've been naked this whole
Roland, we talked about this.
I feel like,
I still
put
have
it
the I
away.
still have the crown on them. I still have the King Graal's crown on. So they kept it.
with a tiny lower crown.
All right. So the rest of the night goes along uneventfully. In the morning, you wake up, repack, and get back onto the river.
I'm assuming short rest after that battle is sufficient, like that.
Yep, short rest. Yep.
Long rest for Steve, who went to sleep through most of the battle.
Nope,
Nope,
no
no
long
long
rest.
rest.
Nah, it's immaterial. I didn't do anything that required resting.
Yeah.
All right, so you start to make your way back down the river. As you get along further, you see. Let's go ahead and Roland. What you see is as you see that the trees are the canopy is starting to part a little bit. You see more light shining down through than what you've seen behind you for the last several days. You also go ahead and roll perception. I know you've got a 17 passive.
Thank God.
Our rolls are awesome. How many ones have we rolled tonight?
Up to you.
So you what you notice, Roland, is that the water seems a little bit clearer. It seems like it's moving a little bit faster, but something is different. Recto, let's have you roll perception. So what you notice, Recto, is that the river itself seems to have reversed course, and you're now paddling with the current rather than against the current.
I wasn't able to notice that.
You didn't notice that. You just noticed that it was
Wow, the trees. I'm just looking up the whole.
a little bit easier, and you weren't really sure why.
Okay. Who's paddling my boat? Steve?
Steve is.
You're welcome.
Hey, Steve, I think you can stop paddling now.
Yeah, maybe you want to paddle for a little while. For what?
Well, I know about your navigational skills, Steve, and I don't think any of us want that.
I could just nap here. We could do that for a while.
All right. So you guys.
That's disconcerting that the river would just shift like that. But I'm not really sure what to do with that.
Ask why that's the case.
What's that?
What's that? Sorry.
I said if only we had someone we could ask as to why that's the case.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's not in my boat, though, right?
No,
She's not.
I don't know. I guess we'll just roll with it then.
All right. So you get a little bit further along, and Zig, can you go ahead and roll perception?
You know I can. Let's see. Whew.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You
My
still-
base perception.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could have done
is-
that.
No, it is my base perception.
Your base is 14. You're passive.
Wait, how are you know that?
It's on your character sheet.
It's
under
right
passive
below
perception.
all your skills.
Passive wisdom perception 14. There, yep, thank you.
No worries. So you think you see something flicker by quickly in the air out of the corner of your eye, but by the time you turn to look, you don't see it anymore. Steve, go ahead and roll perception.
Uh-oh. That's really good. Perception.
Wouldn't Squawk see it?
We're just kind of all pretending Squawk doesn't exist,
Yeah.
because that's what we do when these when players are missing.
I would like to ask Troy, is it possible for, if I have not directed Hansy to do anything specific,
Mhm.
that he's assumed to be with and helping me, or no?
Yes, he's with you, and because you did say earlier that he was going to be.
Oh no,
In the-
he's
in the
with
canoe.
He's with Iku.
No, you actually
you
said.
moved him to you.
Oh no, in the canoe he's with me and helping me.
he was
Yes,
with you.
I did say that. So
And so he is You didn't specify what he's helping with. I would assume, though,
Help.
given that it's
The action help at all times.
okay. Yep. Okay. Yes. So I don't know if that gives you
Advantage.
on
I don't-
all
I don't
ability
know that it
checks.
does.
On
skill
everything
checks.
you roll, ever.
Let's look up the action help.
Yep.
When you take the help action, the creature you aid gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task you are helping with, provided that
So,
it makes
yes.
the check before the start of your next turn. Well, apparently
So,
you might
yeah.
have. I think you have to specify the task you are helping with.
Well, we're in a canoe being aware of danger, so in this case, scouting would not be an unreasonable ask of a flying invisible creature.
Okay, so I'll count that, and then moving forward, that's what he's helping with when you're in the canoe, unless you specify.
Initially, yes, he's looking. He's helping me to look.
So if another type of ability check comes up, you won't
get
advantage on it unless you've prior to that said, "This is what I want Hansy to help with." And
Quite fair.
starting now. Okay. All right. So Steve, you notice Hansy kind of tugs on your shirt sleeve and points, and you see a little kind of like spirit flirting by. It's a small little green figure, probably 8 inches tall, with a like a white mask of a face. Let me. Yep. I'm still good with that.
Yeah, I was just posting somebody else saw it. That's all.
Yep.
So useful. So overpowered.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of what that warlock does. I mean this.
Oh, look at those! Oh, I love that. I want one to be my friend.
It's it's kind of got like this dark green, very dark green skin. It's probably about 8 inches tall. It's kind of like flickering in and out, like kind of riding along the top of the river. At a certain point, it kind of rests on the oar that you're using, kind of on the middle of it.
These are like the things from Princess Mononoke.
It's just kind of like looking at you.
Sure.
The little head jiggle guys.
Yeah,
you guys
sure.
have seen that movie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Who hasn't?
Well,
17 times
won an Oscar.
in the last month and a half.
Best animated movie, but whatever. That's fine.
Oh, I'm saying, man, everybody's seen that.
Studio Ghibli's finest achievements.
Yeah,
Right? That's what they all say.
that's what I say.
Look
I
at
was
the
the first
cast
to
of
say
this
that.
movie.
Dude, I agree. I mean,
We're with you, man.
that's delicious.
Why are you getting so defensive about it?
I sense sarcasm.
It's the best work he's ever done.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay, so after a few minutes of it riding on, it kind of flies back up, and you see a large leaf kind of floating past the boat, and the chewinga, or what you don't know what it is, but it looks like a little spirit creature. It flies over, lands on the leaf, and is kind of just standing atop the leaf.
Is Steve the only one seeing this?
Right now, he's the only one that noticed it, and I don't think he
Okay.
really.
Makes Steve happy to see this. And I don't feel a need to share what I'm seeing. I'm just kind of enjoying it. Sights of the
All right.
jungle. Just sightseeing through the jungle.
So, Roland, what you notice though is that the riverbanks, which were traditionally kind of low and flat, with trees jutting directly out of the water, the riverbanks have started to quickly rise up on either side of you, and at this point they're about 10 feet high. So with just dirt walls on either side of each side of the river of you. And go ahead.
No. If you're still describing, go ahead.
So what you notice is that it's getting narrower, and as it's gotten narrower, it's getting faster, and you're starting to see some minor rapids forming.
So, as someone who likes big, wide open spaces and nature, the idea of walls going up and getting steeper and narrower, I'm going to look back at Iku and try to get a feel, just visually, like, is she starting to look worried or what?
Go ahead
Our music
and
has changed. I'm starting to get worried. That's anything.
go ahead and do an insight check.
This is what's called a kill box.
Yeah. sounds
So,
good.
so you look at Iku, and Iku seems completely unflustered by this. You don't see she doesn't seem worried in any meaningful way.
I'd like to actually ask her: is there anything we need to worry about through here?
She looks at you and she says, "No, it is just the river will get a little faster, but we will be fine."
All right, we're gonna be fine, guys.
Hey,
Well,
we're gonna
you
be
say
fine.
that-
All
You
right.
say that, but you're not paddling through an increasingly fast current.
No, I am.
Oh,
I don't think you're paddling.
He
either.
actually is.
So
Why
just
would
saying.
you paddle?
Yeah, we're going with the current now.
What?
Yeah, the current changed. You're the one who noticed it, isn't it? Oh,
No,
that was-
I'm the one who noticed
was-
it. I would think the
yeah.
person rowing would also notice it, but maybe
Oh,
not.
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
noticed, but that's a very weird
So,
thing.
is this
Well, keep
something
it-
that I
keep-
would have noticed? Because
so-
I'd like to ask about this.
So about this, so keep in mind, guys, the current was very right. So it's actually pretty tough to tell when it's almost like a still lake. But now it's all of a sudden picking up quite quickly. And so at this point, I think everybody would be aware that it's now rushing in the opposite direction of the way you thought this river flowed.
I want to ask Iku about how does a river's
Change direction.
change direction?
So she says, "We do not know. It must be some kind of magic source of which I cannot say."
Is it just a specific spot where people parted the water and one goes one way, the other goes the other?
It's still one river. Like there wasn't a fork. It literally the water just shifted which direction it's going.
So how does
No
it
way to
not run out
pinpoint
of
where this
water
happened.
in that one spot? Like how is the sheer physics and geology or whatever of
It's
that?
not physics, Meryl. It's magic.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Shut up.
That thing.
I did just punch a dragon, so you know.
Not very
Well,
well.
if she doesn't seem concerned about walls getting higher and rapids getting faster, worked out well and the river runs through it.
Okay. So she
And deliverance.
turns around to the second boat and shouts out, "It gets much rockier ahead and faster. Be on the lookout."
For
And
what?
and Roland, you can start to see now there are a few rocks sticking up out of the water, and you can see the water splashing against the opposite side of them, spraying, and you can see kind of eddies forming behind them as you go past a few of the smaller ones.
I have a logistics questions about multiple people in a canoe.
Yeah.
Can the passenger help the rower?
Yeah. I would say that the passenger can absolutely help the rower.
Do we have a second oar?
Yeah. You each have an oar. Each boat has 3 oars. So, because the navigator is using an oar to steer, basically, like as a rudder.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
so,
then
so
at
as
this
the,
point, I'm also noticing that it's picking up. I've grabbed the oar and I'm kind of trying to,
Mhm.
if I wasn't already. So
okay. So each of the navigators now, you're gonna make a perception check to chart a course through these rocks. Okay, and so that's gonna be Iku and Recto.
stand by. What check?
This is gonna be perception.
With the navigation bonus?
Oh yeah. So do I get advantage on those, or how is that working?
So in this case, I think it's gonna be tough for you to use the navigator's tools because like you're not. So the navigator's tools are for like recording like where
Because I
am
just
I?
stated that I'm holding an oar. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, not only that, but it's navigator's tools help you figure out where like on the globe you are, not
Right.
like chart a course through like between which 5 feet of these rapids should I target.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. They're more
So
macro,
let's roll.
less micro.
Yeah. So let's see what. All right. So
That was a really good roll.
Iku had a good roll, and let's see here. So all right, and so now that's good. But the paddlers, which are going to be Roland and Steve, both of you go ahead and make a athletics check.
Oh Lord, am I helped at all by
And-
how good
and
by
you
how
each
good the
have-
navigation is?
Yes, you both have advantage.
Sweet.
A
Delight.
natural 3 and a natural 4, boys. You're welcome.
No, Hansy's helping me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not me.
You don't even need the help. You've got advantage anyways, Hillers.
Oh, okay.
Because of Recto's role. So Recto, you are able to like look ahead and you see a rock coming up, and you see a way to kind of steer around it by
Look
steering
out, it's a
sharply next to as you pass one rock to get past the other. Steve, you're able to frantically kind of paddle, but you also use your paddle to like push off of one of the rocks.
Oh shit!
To jet the canoe off to the other side. Roland, though, Iku says, "Look out for that one. That one is a big one." And you start to kind of paddle, but you just can't quite get the ship steered around. It's just maybe it's too heavy, and boom, kind of hit up against it. Let's see. All right, so Roland and Zig, go ahead and do a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, Jesus.
God damn it, these fucking rolls.
Oh, these rolls tonight. Oh my
We
god.
are. Yeah, you know what this means is that some other group is having the night of their lives.
We were really 23s not 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
All right, so you each take 14 points of damage as you get slammed up against the side of the boat and barely hang on and are able to kind of jerk it back upright.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, roll better, man.
Fuck, dude. 3, 4, 5, right in a row.
L2R.
And hold on.
L2R noob.
And the boat also takes 14 points of damage.
How beat up, I'm sure, how beat up does that appear?
What are the hit points on a boat?
I'll tell you, your canoes have 50 hit points.
It took how much? 14?
Yeah.
That's
Got
not
more
great.
fucking hit points than I do. We
I
get to
know,
a fight,
right?
I'm getting in the canoe.
I carry the canoe into battle.
So the river speeds up even a little bit faster. And so for those of you in the middle of the boat, which is Zig, you could either help the paddler or the navigator.
Can I? Would it have? And I mean, this is fine. We're past this point. Would it have been advantageous if I could like try to turn into an octopus and like grab the rock and push it off?
I mean, you can try it.
Having
I mean, we're
gotta be
past that point
advantageous.
already, and I'm okay with that. But I just want to know, like, is that something I can kind of
Dude,
reactively
you're a
try and
druid.
do?
You can do whatever the fuck you want. Let's be honest.
And is that something you would want me to do, like pre-athletics check, or?
I would say that when it's your turn to do something, then I would say you could tell me what.
Okay. So
Like, if you wanna do something
I just don't know
other
when
than-
to. I don't know.
Yeah, if I
when
say
to-
roll an athletics check again, then you can say, for instance, "Oh, actually, I'm going to turn into an octopus."
Okay. Gotcha.
We'll
Unless
find
it's a
out what happens.
bonus. Unless
Cool.
it's a bonus action, though. I mean, your action is avoiding death.
It is. I mean, it is a bonus action form, but I think that makes sense. Is to just like timing when I should be saying it.
Yeah.
When it should
So,
come out.
so Zig, you can choose to either help the navigator or help the paddler, or help neither and say fuck it. So
or just like
we're
jump
gonna
out of the
have
boat. You could do
We're
that.
gonna have the navigators go ahead and do another perception check as the rapids have just gotten a little bit faster. Nicely done.
Wait. I'm confused. I thought I was rowing at some point.
No, we swapped.
So you
Yeah,
can.
Roland is the
Right, we have 3 oars, so...
I thought it would be best to have our range damage be in the middle, where if you had
Oh,
to...
right, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So you do have an oar, but you can choose to either focus on rowing as hard as you can, or to focus on spotting for rocks.
Feel like maybe the rowing would be more beneficial.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So
I should help at all.
so Recto, once again, you can you're looking ahead with excellent vision and kind of seeing the currents as they come through, and you're able to point out once more which way the canoe should go. In this case, though, Iku was so shaken by the prior collision that she's barely able to pull herself back up, and isn't yet able to shout out about the rock coming up ahead until it's almost too late. So we're gonna go ahead and Steve and Roland, go ahead and roll your athletics. Steve, you get advantage.
This is where I would like to kind of like almost jump into the front of the boat a bit. And
Oh, good thing.
Oh, good God.
Okay,
I'd like to jump in almost in front of the boat.
Yep.
I can't be like in the boat and in the water. I kind of want to almost jump to the rock, transform to an octopus, and kind of help the boat around it and try to like
okay.
keep a sucker on it so I can sort of swing back into the boat. Just the
Okay.
acrobatic move.
You have to be
All right.
working pretty hard to roll a 0.
All right, so in this case,
5%
let's
chance.
turn that into we'll use acrobatics with advantage for this one.
That works.
Oh,
Nice!
Nicely done. So Zig, you see that the rock is enormous and coming straight at you, and there's just no way, despite however hard you guys paddle, that you're gonna be able to get this boat out from it. And all of a sudden, you see Roland just kind of jump overboard, keep one hand on the boat, and you see it transform into a sticky tentacle, and you see him plop up several other tentacles onto the rock, push the boat off to the side, and then kind of wraps around to the other side, blip, pops in back into the boat as Roland.
Wasn't even wet.
Druid things, man. Druid things.
Now, as far as we know, you're naked and glistening at all times.
At all times. Oh, I got the crown on too. Don't forget.
All right.
Hashtag Druid life.
Last time, Iku and Recto perception check. As and the rapids have gotten really heavy now. It's moving fast. The walls are in tight.
Passive of 16, by the way.
All right.
So just so I know your rules, Troy, is the passive the floor for all rolls of that type?
So generally, yes, but there's only passive for perception, really.
Okay.
Other skills don't.
Investigation has a passive.
Nope.
No. Passive wisdom perception is the only thing I see on
The
there.
observant feat gives a +5 to passive wisdom and.
There you go.
Well, that's different
and-
than...
That's still passive. That's still.
Well, it suggests that a passive investigation.
Investigation is based on int, anyway, not wisdom.
There you go.
Let's see. Hold on.
This is
Loading.
tangential. We don't need to litigate this now.
Processing.
So your passive is based on wisdom stats at worst, right? So it's got to be something wisdom based.
No, it actually says you have a +5 to your passive wisdom, perception, and intelligence investigation scores. That's what the observant feat says. So technically, you can have a passive of anything, but I don't have them all written down. So, like, I actually keep your guys' passive perception down on that, so that I can tell.
Does anybody have the observant feat?
Nick does. Squawk does.
Of course
Sure,
he does.
of course he does. Yeah.
Along with his 19 modifier on everything.
Really would have come in handy if he'd have used that before walking into that kitchen.
You observe that you're about to do something stupid.
Okay. All right. So, once again, Steve, roll athletics with advantage. Roland, roll athletics no advantage. as Iku is just still too shaken by the first collision to spot the rocks.
Oh, I
ahead.
get
You guys have
advantage.
gotten
I get
into a bad
advantage
spot.
though with Zig's help, correct?
That's correct. If he's helping with the paddling.
I'm helping with the paddling.
All right.
Steve.
Thank you, Zig.
I'm doing my best. It's a miracle I've been unscathed thus far.
All right. And unfortunately, that is not enough to do it for either.
Ah.
No.
Yeah.
So we're gonna roll for boat 1 now.
Constitution.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Constitution saving throw from all of you.
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
What is with the dice tonight?
Good job, Zig.
Getting beat up, man. This is more than a 20 hit, man. I'm done. I'm cooked in a boat.
Into the water with you. Now you'll have a reason to be glistening at all times.
All right, so Zig and Roland and Iku, each of you take 15 points of damage. Although Zig, you saved half, so you would take 8 points of damage.
Oh, you're breaking up. Well, what do I take?
Zig, you take 8. Roland, you're gonna take 15.
5 health.
Ouch.
And I forgot to actually remove Iku's. How much damage did you guys take in boat 1 before? That was 14, right?
14.
14.
Good thing we
Okay,
took a
and
boat.
in boat 2,
This isn't as fine as Iku said it would be.
Yeah, no. She seemed really not worried at all.
My Yelp review for her as a guide is decreasing as we go along this little swift.
so Recto, you're taking 8 points of damage. Steve, you're taking 4 points of damage.
4. Okay.
That could have gone worse.
Done better.
Well, wait. I killed that one zombie, right?
Yes. No.
Yes,
Did you?
but
Yeah, I did. I killed it with my double Eldritch Blast, so I'm back to my regular.
there was a short rest after that. Do you lose the temp HP?
You tell me. I don't know how temp HP mechanics work.
Why would you?
You probably don't. Yeah.
Why would I? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
not
good.
like it's
All
a
right.
part of your character or anything.
All right, fine. You can keep it.
Temp HP is complicated.
Yeah.
In that it's temporary.
Yeah,
All right, so-
how it counts is very shifty.
It is. It's hard to go to the compendium and type in temporary hit points.
So Iku shouts out, "Here it is! This is the last of it!" You both boats don't quite manage to escape the rocks unscathed. You both jam up against a couple rocks, but as you get past that, you notice that the rapids seem to be calming down. The walls, the riverbank walls are still quite high. They're actually perhaps even higher than before, but there are no rocks. And while the water is moving quite quickly, the surface of the water seems calm. Up in front of you, you see a large, huge fallen tree that's stretching from one riverbank to the other, with vines hanging down from all along that tree. Hey, Zigmundo, can you go ahead and make a check with advantage?
What check? I didn't hear.
A nature check.
Nature check.
Temporary hit points last until a long rest or they're depleted.
Nice.
Okay. So you still have them. All right. So Zig, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, other than the log itself looks like it's been there for a long time.
I don't know whether it's my connection or yours. The what itself has been there for a long time?
The log.
Oh, the tree. Okay.
Yeah, the tree.
Is it like my go? Like,
No. So as let's see. I'm gonna have Recto. You can make a nature check as well.
Oh god. Oh god.
I did better than you.
Okay, so you notice a few of the vines are dropping all the way down into the water, and you can kind of see they're making a small trail in the water as the water rushes by. Other than that, though, you're just happy to be out past the rapids. But you do see that one of the larger vines, as the first boat rolling, as you guys go underneath.
No, before I go into this, can I cast a heal on myself real quick? Do I have enough quick seconds to do that? Because I'm at 5 health.
I think we're too late for that now.
Okay, all right.
Because what happens is one of the vines lifts itself out of the water, still attached to the log.
Yeah.
Jets out towards you. Zig, as it does that, you recognize this from the Executioner's Run.
Another one of those fucking mines!
I've seen this before.
So, Roland and Zig, go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, sweet Jesus, I'm gonna die.
Does he get advantage, Roland?
Yeah, I can roll with advantage.
Because
why would he get advantage?
Because Zig's helping him row.
No, because this is. I'm sorry, this is not for rowing. This is actually.
They're trying to save themselves.
Yeah, no,
so
that makes sense.
Because it's Dex.
I had to ask.
Yep. And let me
So
roll
he
for
wouldn't
Iku
die,
here.
but now he's
Each
dead.
character can only try to save one ass per turn.
All right,
This
so
bird, guys. I'm just gonna say this bird's not helping us.
all three of you do successfully dodge out of the way.
Oh, thank Lord.
Oh,
3.
But-
what 3?
As
The boat.
Oh, Iku.
the boat.
Iku also.
Iku.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yep. So as they pass, so you guys, Steve and Recto, you guys see this happening in front of you, but before you can do anything, another vine attached to that log, shoots out towards you.
Look out!
Go ahead and you guys make your dexterity saving throw as well. All right.
Jesus, guys.
All right. And
Our
so
boat is lagging behind here, Zig.
all right. And so you
Well, you guys are the ones who
just
go
duck.
first, so we get like to see before.
Yeah,
it
they're like,
swipes right past
well,
you.
that looks pretty dangerous. Maybe we should go to the right.
Maybe
here.
we should prepare for this.
So up ahead, you see one last rapid.
Jeez, you got a 7 mod on your dexterity.
Let's see, Recto, go ahead and do your. Do that for Iku as well.
Nice.
Nice. All right, and Roland and Steve, go ahead and do your athletics check with advantage.
So
No whammy, no way. Can I heal myself? Am I past that again?
I think we're. I think we're it's a little too late for that because right now if you wanted to heal yourself, I think that it's gonna come at a cost in terms of not rowing yourself out of the way.
Fair enough.
Okay, but luckily that is good enough for you to both. Well, actually, for Roland to steer out of the way.
Come on,
Steve,
Steve.
unfortunately, you're not able to get the oar hard. You're not able to row hard enough. The side of the boat does slam against the side of the rock, and go ahead and do a straight. Okay.
No, that's Roland's roll. It's not mine. What do you want me to roll?
No, Steve, we need yours as well. The Constitution saving throw. Recto got his in. Okay, so that's going to be 14 points of damage to each of you.
Mine's the 20.
Yours is the
How's
4.
it 20?
Hansy's helping.
Not with that.
Yeah, but you didn't specify.
On saving throws?
wait.
Since when?
Scroll up to the help action.
We said you have to specify what he's helping with.
No, I said he's always helping me in the canoe, and the help
That's
action
too
helps
bad.
on the saving throw
That's
that
too
I'm
bad.
trying.
Not
So-
the saving
so this-
throw. You said navigation and rowing.
Looking unless I...
It doesn't actually even help with saving throws at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm fucked. All right, 14, you say?
Yes.
Okay. So there's the rest of my temporary hit points, and then 10 off the
Oh boy.
real life.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Stupid rowing job.
So the Iku shouts out, "That was the last of it!" And you can feel the river finally start to slow down. But you also see you hear kind of this loud kind of
I'd like to heal.
sound. Okay, great. Go ahead and do that.
Oh yeah, healing potion for me as well.
Do it. Go ahead.
2d4 plus 2, I think.
The 7 for me.
Okay. You guys all marked up?
Yep.
So you
Thank
hear this loud sound, and it reminds you of horses
what?
that you saw a few days earlier, the brontosauruses.
Mm-hmm.
And as you come around a bend in the river, an enormous tail from the brontosaurus is swinging across the top of the river as the riverbanks have receded. And you see that you have no choice but to, at this point, paddle, kind of try to paddle underneath and avoid that tail.
This thing does like 6d8 damage, plus 5, by the way.
And you can see its enormous head 50, 60 feet above you, kind of just munching blindly on some vegetation from a tree up there. It kind of turns away from you, and the tail swipes directly towards you. So Iku and Recto are going to make a either their choice, perception or nature check, to try and choose the best moment to act.
Well done.
Not so much for Iku.
Ha!
I'd like to cast Animal Friendship.
Recto, you get inspiration.
He does?
Yeah.
What does that
As
mean?
a result of... so you can go ahead and check the inspiration box on your character sheet.
Okay.
Can I ask? Like, I'm not complaining, but what for?
Yeah, what just happened?
Basically, by part of this is if you identify the right to steer the boat, you get inspired by the majesty of this beast and having successfully navigated your way through.
It is pretty awesome.
Steve and Roland, you guys should go ahead and make a athletics check, each of you.
All these athletics. Ah.
Okay. All right. And finally, all of you make a dexterity saving throw, but hold on, with advantage.
I'm sorry, you cut out what with advantage?
Dexterity saving throw with advantage.
I'm gonna roll a luck die on mine.
Okay.
Try that one more time. That was awful.
I can't help anybody with my inspiration when they already have advantage, right?
You can, because, well, no, they already have advantage.
Luck die comes out again.
Okay, so let's see.
God, that's a good feat. I'm not sorry at all. I took that one.
All right, so hold on. Zig, you take 11 points of damage as you just barely don't quite duck under, and it knocks
dead.
you on the top of the head.
Really? You're down?
I'm down.
Is he in my boat?
He's in my boat.
He is not. He's in Roland's boat.
But if anybody in that boat is to go down, honestly, it's best that it's him because he's got the...
You can't cast a mirror image and run away from that one.
I have healing potions in my belt. If somebody wants to just pour one down my gullet.
Yeah, we'll get you. We'll get you.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll get you.
Although we probably should do it sooner rather than later in case something unexpected occurs again. because the death saving throws are no joke.
It's true. So, so who is somebody doing something about?
I would love to just I will reach back and grab the healing potion.
So wait,
from
before
his
you
pack.
do that, you can just do a medicine check to try to stabilize him if you want to. Remember, like
Maybe not as a bonus action though. Do the safest thing.
Well, let me do a medicine check on him, try to stabilize him, and like maybe throw a quick heal on him.
Is that a 10 or a 15? I forget.
15 is the death check.
Troy, is that the medicine?
I'm sorry.
So typically to stabilize somebody, you need to roll a DC 10 medicine check.
That's still a 10.
Okay.
Easily passed.
So there you go.
Okay, so Sigmundo, you're stabilized, and while you're unconscious, the river slowly reverts back to its normal direction. The canyon recedes from either side, and
it's gone from being a deadly threat to you got knocked the fuck out, man.
Yes, exactly.
We'll still need to heal him, but at least he doesn't need to make his death saves. So
we'll take a nap.
Yeah.
I'll hit him. I'll hit you here with since you're in healing in melee or touch range.
I just figured don't waste the healing potion if we don't have to.
So how
so
far
there's 6 for you to give you a little bit of buffer.
How far away are we from Camp Kickass or wherever we're
Camp
headed?
Righteous, I think, is where we're probably trying to go. Well, that's where the Order of the Gauntlet probably is, I'm thinking.
Well, that's a place we can all long rest, so that's why I'm asking.
Maybe. Unless they're total dicks.
Well, let's just not let on about all our crimes when we get to Camp Righteous.
Also, let's not break into anybody's house or anything like that.
Yeah, let's not do any crimes at Camp Righteous if we could, please. And let's talk to Nick before we do next week as well. Advise him to just hold off on the crimes for like 5 minutes.
So Hillers, as the currents are changing back, Steve notices that spirit has still been riding along this entire time on a leaf near the boat, and it finally kind of lifts up off of the leaf and kind of flies in front of you, gives you a big old smile, and flies away. And
nice.
You at some point, a few minutes later, you realize that there's a stone in your pocket that wasn't there before. And if you reach into your pocket and pull it out, you find it has a bit of a glyph or a rune inscribed on it.
Can I inspect the stone to see if I can make any hide or hair of that?
Go ahead and do a
It'd be like Arcana.
Arcana.
Boy, intelligence.
I'll give you advantage on it.
Isn't my bag either. These are all my worst rolls. Athletics and Arcana all night.
Okay. So you've heard about these before. That certain spirits and certain creatures can bestow charms on people, and these are kind of temporary magical items that don't last long. So you realize that this is a charm of restoration. And let me go ahead and post here what it does.
Can I summon Gillian Anderson as a giant wolf?
No.
Wait, what?
Let me go ahead and rate this as a handout for you.
That's a Princess Mononoke reference. Gillian Anderson voices a massively deadly wolf spirit.
This stream brought to you by Princess Mononoke, which has now had 2 references tonight, which is
best work
above
ever.
the over-under of 1/2.
Oh, his best work.
His best work.
Whose best work?
The guy. The guy.
King Mononoke.
Who writes the words.
Yeah.
The guy.
Was it
I knew it was sarcasm. I wanted to believe that you really love that movie.
Was that
Yeah,
Spielberg
man,
or
best.
what was that?
It's huge.
Yeah. You trolled me. You trolled me good.
By the way, I just saw that Arlie Ermy died.
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
a bummer.
know. Yeah, it's sad.
Complications due to pneumonia.
Who did?
Arlie Ermy.
The drill sergeant.
The
from
drill sergeant
the gun
from everything.
Apocalypse Now.
Or Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
And by the way, when you say the guy, it's Hayao Miyazaki, also of what's the one that actually won an Oscar? Spirits.
Oh, you think about it while we think about how much we don't care.
Spirited.
All right, so
Away.
Dude, his best work.
so as you, and so somebody heals Zygmundo and bring him.
Yeah, he's got what? He had one, so he's got 7 hit points now. Good luck with that.
6.
You were
Well,
gonna
6,
post
he has 1 from the stabilization.
No,
I already
stabilization doesn't
put
give
it in
you one.
your. So Healers, I gave you a handout. It's in your character
Oh, okay.
folder
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
item.
Stabilization means you're still at 0, but you don't have to make death saves.
Iku kind of motions once again to the western edge of the river. Says it's time to make camp. As you kind of pull up to the shore, she kind of turns to you all and says, "I know that was a bit harrying, but I believe that we were able to make better time because of the flow of the river. So we are getting closer more quickly than expected."
Yeah, it was a little bit faster than you might have suggested in your early assessment.
Is there anything that I can do to help repair the boat?
Okay. So
Do we have duct tape?
actually-
That's a good question.
So go ahead and make a survival check, Roland. All right. So yes, you're able to repair. Let's say 1d. I'll give you a d8. A d8 of damage to the boat. Nice.
I'm a survivalist, man.
Oh, dude.
I'm only testing things out. Don't worry.
This charm is awesome.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's really good, guys. It's really good.
So as you guys get off of, kind of walk up to shore, you notice that several of the trees nearby have icicles
Wow, that
hanging
is really
from
good.
them. It's very hot. You're sweating, right? It's humid, but the trees still just have what are very clearly icicles hanging from them. You also see some minor stones that look like they were clearly man-made. So it looks like remnants, right? But unlike everything else that you've seen for the last day or two, that was all completely natural. Some of the stonework clearly has the edges of man-made work.
I'd like to ask Iku where we are.
Iku tells you we are getting close to the first of the Order of the Gauntlets camps. That I know, but I have never been to this specific camp before. This site, this shore. It is new to me.
Why are the trees appear to be frozen?
I do not know. That is extraordinarily strange.
Is this magic?
She kind of walks up to an icicle and holds her hand up to it. She doesn't touch it, but just holds her hand there for a moment and closes her eyes. And she comes back to you and says, "Yes, it is some kind of magic."
Ah, she has
Do you-
detect
do you-
magic? That's awesome.
Do you know this magic? Is this something that should be feared?
This is new to me. This is the first time I have seen this in all of the jungle. Ice is normally a great luxury in Port Nyanzaru. Just to find ice in the jungle itself, it is unknown to me.
So outsider, just as a thought, maybe we don't want to camp here. Is there any place
I'd like to
else that we
grab
might
one
be
of.
able to?
I grab one of the icicles and kind of try to pull it down.
All right. So you reach up and you yoink on one of the icicles and you pull it down. It's cold in your hand. but it doesn't burn. But it to the best of what you can tell, it's just ice. You hold it a few minutes longer in your hand, and it's
Steve.
Okay. So it dinks against Steve's face, dropping to the ground.
Dick!
10 seconds later, it's already melted into a puddle.
Are they all hanging from one tree? What are they hanging from again?
It's from a few different trees.
The area.
Does it continue back into the brush, or is it just like an isolated, like 3 trees that we can see?
It's more of like an arc cutting through a single direction. It's almost like a trail, and it goes more horizontally across, not into the jungle. The stonework though does go deeper into the jungle.
So, in addition to the temperature, Steve would like to just explain to the group that when it was winter on the streets of Neverwinter, more than one person died sleeping under giant icicles that plummeted into their bodies. So I'm not sleeping there.
You guys want to follow the trail to head back a little further and see what's going on there?
I'd like to refer to Iku because that's why we're paying her.
Mm-hmm. That's her job.
Does she have another place that might be good to stay in? Because this looks like it may be suboptimal.
She says, "Well, the icicles, the ice is very disconcerting. Yes, the stone. There are many ruins in Chult. It is hard to say what the stone may lead to. If you would prefer, we can continue down the shore to a place further away from this.
Can I investigate?
But we should not go too far because it is getting dark.
Well, do we not want to check this out and see what's causing this?
Yeah, I'd just like to investigate the area.
She's weird, just sketchy as shit, man.
Maybe there's
And
something.
we got 2 people with like sub 8 hit points.
Underground, maybe where we could sleep.
So, Steve, you go ahead and roll an investigation.
Good call.
Yeah, underground, where somebody comes in the front door, they have no way out.
Well, it's better than being out
Like
with
one of those.
bicycles.
We have a way out. It's through that person.
You don't have to sleep there. I'm just saying we should look.
Okay, so as far as you can tell, it's just stones. They lead deeper
stones. Got it.
into the jungle. You do notice that there's a few beetles climbing over the stones, and that seems more than you'd expect.
Guys,
let's get the fuck out. I don't want anything to do with places with beetles crawling out of it.
Wait, there's beetles crawling out of the stones?
They're just crawling on top. They're small little beetles.
Like more than a normal amount?
Like
Two
it seems
is more than a normal amount of beetles.
It seems strange that like it's consistent, right? It's it's not just like 2 little beetle bros kind of hanging out on one stone. There's a very clear pattern of the beetles on.
So it's a trail that leads back, or it's like a cave that leads back.
Right now what you can see from the shoreline is not so much a trail. It is a trail, but it's not like it's not like a paved trail, right? It's just pieces of stone ruin that you can see extend back into the jungle, but they're just chunks of stone on the ground.
I'd like to check this out, guys.
I feel like this is
What time of day is this?
Side quest.
It's getting late. It's the sun is going down. It's probably 7 p.m.
Think of the loot. Think of the loot that might be back there, Steve.
Think of my life and Zig's life, where there's very little of it left.
Maybe we can get it in the morning. Maybe we can look around once we just clear out a little bit, come back in the morning, and maybe poke about at a more advantageous time.
Well, where would we put
Or
up
we can
camp
take
then?
a short rest and roll some hit dice.
It's almost like it's midnight here. I'm not really feeling like we have the energy to investigate fully at this time.
Yep. Could we put a pin in it? Talk about it?
I would like to investigate this, but I'm down for maybe setting up camp somewhere and coming back to it. Yeah.
So you guys could set up camp where you are, and then investigate in the morning next session. You could also pause here, and we could pick up next session at night without you having camped.
I vote for a pause.
You could go elsewhere and then try to come back, or go elsewhere and never come back.
I vote for a camp and an investigation next time.
Camp here?
Away a bit.
Not under
So-
the icicles, but
Pause
closer to the
and-
water.
Couple 100 yards away, at least.
Like
Is
down
there,
the shore?
well, is there a place we can camp where we're not under the icicles where we are right now?
Yeah, you could go into the jungle a little bit. The icicles
Oh.
are kind of along the shoreline a bit.
Oh. Well, in that case.
Everybody type your vote in, and then winner gets the...
That helped.
It's 2 pause.
Well, pause,
camp
yeah.
here, camp here.
But what do you want to do before we...
I just say just can't just pause.
Oh,
because
no,
that's the
pause,
safest
okay.
of all.
Oh, yeah, pause, I see. Yeah, pause works for me.
Okay, we'll pause, and then next week we'll pick up from the shoreline.
Great. And we'll have a bird with us.
Yeah, we'll have
And
one
you'll
more.
have a bird.
Bird. All right, guys.
All right.
Might I say, Troy, that your character icon is even more appropriate in this campaign than it has
It sure is. Mrs. Van Dinosaur.
been?
All right. So you're actually officially in the jungle now, guys. Good job.
We did it.
God. Although if we get to this camp, who knows what's gonna happen? What kind of
Stupid
trial
ca-
we're gonna stand there?
Stupid canoe. I can't believe I ended up rowing a canoe. This is what Steve was trying to get away from in the first place.
I think it's. I don't think I really fully realized until this. No frontline melee guy. I mean, Recto, you are the closest. You have a strength of like 8.
How physically weak we are.
No one wears armor.
We're all a bunch
None
of
of you wear
nerds.
armor.
Yeah.
I just have a lot of hit points to give up.
Yeah.
Andy doesn't wear armor, but he does because he can transfer it. Transform into just like boatloads of hit points if he needs to.
His armor is a bear.
But you don't have any like traditional heavies, right?
Nope.
None.
You don't have-
None. Nothing even approaching that.